Back then, the house didn't have any electricity. When they saw light coming out of every door and window in the house, they had to stop the car, thinking it was squatters that had moved in. When they got closer, the lights turned off. And when they checked the house, there was no one there.
Hold on, I couldn't explain that away.
I know,
Like, I'm a
right?
logical person. I'm be like, "No, screw that. I saw those lights on."
In every window and every doorway.
Yeah, so if it's not like Ghost, like someone just time traveled from inside your house.
Well, yeah, I mean, not bad.
Time travel.
Well done.
Solved it.
Joe solved this. So we're done.
Prepare yourself for Earthling Entertainment, the perfect blend of paranormal and pop culture, with your host, Joe Wakefield and Ryan Lang.
I love it. I'm a fan of this. I'm here for it.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Earthling Entertainment with your hosts, Joe and Ryan.
That's right. I'm your host who just found out I wasn't born. I was actually whittled out of an old ash tree. So yeah, thanks for telling me that, Grandma. I'll unpack that, figure that out. Joe
And
Wakefield.
yes, yes, and we will do our best to unpack that as well.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, thanks, Joe.
And that's kind of what we do on this show. We unpack the spooky, the creepy, the weird. We also have some pop culture and genre news. Today, we have a lovely interview with Eddie McClintock, who played Pete Lattimer on Warehouse 13.
Nice.
Sat down with him. He was awesome, a lot of fun, and a real world weird where it kind of is all about planes.
That's true. It
Yeah,
is. Yeah.
yeah. So, yeah, guys, thanks again for joining. Remember to hit that subscribe button on this YouTube channel if you haven't already. And if you're listening to us on the audio version, please download.
Please.
But yeah, I figure we'll just hit the ground running here. Ryan, there was a new trailer for Crystal Lake, which is the A24 prequel for Friday the 13th.
Right.
Yeah,
And it seems like they're gonna focus on his mother, is
Pamela
what
Voorhees.
exactly. So this is gonna be her story, it
Which
looks like.
which makes sense. I mean, think about it. It's A24, so we're gonna have Pamela Voorhees start losing her crap over time, and then just
Yeah.
get a little stabby with people.
A little stabby.
Little stabby. I mean, if you remember, the original one opens with a scene where an unseen killer, which we found out is Pamela, kills a couple counselors. So you have to assume that will either be in the series or by the end, right?
Right. So to me, yeah, it looked good. It's Camp Crystal Lake. They even gave it a nifty little song, which was pretty cool.
All right.
I'm all about a new song. So they made a song for Camp Crystal Lake.
What was your favorite Friday the 13th?
It probably is the fourth one. Just I don't know what. Like I said, that was the first one I saw, and that's the one that got me hooked. And after I got that one, every time I went back to, I think it was like Mammoth Video.
Yes,
It,
I miss video stores so much.
and I went through them, and
Yeah.
just every time my dad let me rent a video, I would just get and I watched them all.
Well, the fourth one was the final chapter. I love it when horror movies have the final chapter. You know how many movies, like even was it Final Destination 4 is the final
It
destination.
is.
We're at 6 and there's gonna be 7.
Oh hell yeah,
Yeah,
there will be
yeah,
six,
so
7. Sorry,
that's
had
terrible.
to.
All right. In any case, well, you threw me on that one. My favorite is Jason Lives, which is Friday the 13th part 6.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it because that's when everyone thinks, all right. So in the story, as far as I understand it, Jason actually is alive, but he's kind of like a mongoloid and crazy person up until him dying at the end of 4. Then 5, he's an imposter. Then 6, he's brought back like Frankenstein. So from 6 on, he's actually undead. That has always been my understanding, and
Yeah.
I like the birth of undead Jason.
And that's where I think the franchise took it too. And I always felt that too when I was younger.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, well, he did die,
he totally died.
but he's back.
Yeah, Corey Feldman was like, "Wackety, wackety,
Die,
wackety,
die,
die, die."
did he die?
Well, it's funny is that character is Tommy.
Tommy, that was it.
Tommy, yeah,
My bad. See, like I said, I knew you were gonna beat me on
is
the.
Tommy Jarvis.
It was because I just remember her screaming his name. That's right, Tommy, die.
He was played by a different character every movie that character showed up.
Well, he's getting older.
Yeah. Well, no, that was definitely not the issue. It was weird. It was a weird timeline, and they did different things with the character. He acted completely different in every film he showed up. It was strange. It was strange. But Corey Feldman did come back for the fifth movie for like one opening
Corey
scene.
Feldman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got nothing to say. I like Corey Feldman.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
I
So,
like his musical path he's taken.
I heard.
It's crazy.
Is it?
Oh, it's wild.
Tell me about it.
It's great. I've only seen videos of him live,
All right.
so it's recorded probably like from cell phone. So the audio isn't the greatest,
Sure.
but
Is he an
it's
artist?
he likes to dress up like Michael Jackson.
Who doesn't?
A
Yeah, dude, that's like my Friday night.
lot of sparkly outfits.
Yeah, it was really
Yeah.
weird until I found a person who is like in the same group of me who's like, I'll make costumes, and now we have an Etsy.
Huh.
None of that's true. Continue.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, actually, I got nothing.
Yeah.
That's all I know about it. That's all I know about the Corey Feldman project or whatever the
Alright.
heck it's called.
All right, all right, all right. Well, whatever, man.
But yes, no. Friday the 13th is timeless to me. I believe he's like the top 4 heads of horror.
Yeah,
You
it
know what I
would be.
mean?
Well, I always thought that they were the kind of the replacement for the Universal monsters, right? Was you had Dracula, you had Frankenstein, the Invisible Man, Loch Ness monster, all that's a Loch Ness monster, Creature from the Black Lagoon,
Creature from the Black Lagoon.
the Creature. And now, yeah, it was the '80s horror film.
Yeah, you had him, Michael, you had Freddy, and
I mean, when it was new horror films, who would it be? You got like, okay, the Smile.
Scream.
Well, maybe, but that was still came out in '95 originally.
Oh yeah.
And Scream is still put with the last era of those serial killers. Now, what I'm thinking is like nowadays, what do you have?
Smile?
Well, that's what I'm saying, but there's not. We've seen the Smile Demon look different in every time we've seen the Smile Demon. So who would be the pitcher? And
Maybe just a person who's like possessed.
well,
by
think
them.
about it. You got The Conjuring, you got all these movies, and none of them have like a singular figure. I guess you could say that
Annabelle.
maybe okay, maybe Annabelle, maybe Babadook, but that was only one movie.
I
you
feel
need
like
more under your
That's not
belt.
iconic enough. Like
It was
Annabelle,
when it came out, and then everyone forgot.
right? Annabelle would be a good one. I don't know. You're right. That is hard. Like, because there isn't a lot of, and that's what I love about new horror movies. Sort of like what we were talking about, Obsession.
Yeah.
Uh,
Which, by the way, I'm gonna let you go off on Obsession a little bit later because there's a story in it.
Sweet.
Yeah. So let's talk about your feelings on Obsession later.
Right.
But yeah.
But I was just saying, like, that was a very original idea, and like not super, you know what I mean? Like, there's always been Wish Goes Bad,
Yeah.
horror, stories, but it was good. Like, it was just handled so well in a new way that I thought really translated to me, and obviously did effing well across the world.
Apparently,
so
it's like one of the most profitable movies from cost to
it's
what it's
crazy.
making ever. Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen it yet because I'm waiting to see it with my wife, to be perfectly frank.
Oh,
So,
you guys are gonna love it.
yeah,
It's awesome.
but I know a lot because internet. And when we do this show, it's kind of hard not to get a bunch of weird spoilers and stuff. And there's the iconic pictures where it's like her smiling with the blood on her face and doing the pouty face. And inevitably, you see enough of the memes that, like, I mean, I know a lot of what's going to happen in this movie. But that being said,
Yeah.
the new horror films aren't bad. There's just not really kind of an iconic thing. But that's not always a bad thing though. Evil Dead just had a new one come out. I saw it this weekend, loved it. I'm gonna talk about that in a sec. But that franchise started in 1981 with the original Evil Dead.
And you said it was finished in like 79.
Well, I mean, it was a student project. It was a while before people saw it, so I'm not sure where that date fell
Right,
between
right.
production. But in any case, all of those movies, while the first 3 had Ash as the main character, since then, the 2013 Evil Dead and then Evil Dead Rise, which was 2022 or 2023, has just kind of been more of an anthology story while they're all still connected. This new one actually connects them even more. You can tell that they're setting up for Evil Dead Wrath to really put it all together. It's not important. What I was saying is the book itself is kind of an iconic thing because that series doesn't have any real killer or any real monster because the Deadites can be anybody.
Exactly.
So the book
So-
itself might be on the Mount Rushmore.
But
That's what that was the roundabout thing I was getting to.
But they do have like a look.
Yeah.
When they all do look kind of like the original, right? So I feel like just a person with that Deadite look would work for one of the Oh, but then
I
again, like you
completely
said,
disagree, actually, man. You take the iconic picture of the 1981 one of her under the floor
yeah.
looking that, and you take that, and then you look at the Deadite from the new ones. They really don't look the same at
Okay.
all. I mean,
Okay, to be
the
fair, yeah, I
franchise has
haven't
done a lot of
seen.
stuff, and then this new one ended with like a CGI event that kind of was very new to the franchise. Obviously, I'm not going to spoil anything,
Okay.
but it was the first time to me that they did that. So there's different things that are happening in this franchise each time. The last movie had an amalgamation, Evil Dead Rise, of an amalgamation of Deadites that became like a creature. Do you remember that?
No.
Oh man. Well, guys, I don't want to spoil too much of Evil Dead Burn, which is the film I just saw at MJR theaters.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Here's a little bit about MJR right now.
Don't just see the movies, experience the movies in IMAX at the MJR Troy and MJR Southgate Cinemas. See the movies like never before in stunning 4K laser IMAX projection on a massive screen. Feel the movies with heart-pounding IMAX precision sound and experience true movie-going bliss in our fully powered luxury recliner seats. Get your IMAX tickets at mjrtheaters.com for the world's most immersive film experience. Now featured at the MJR Troy and Southgate Cinemas.
Go to the movies.
Go to the movies. Yeah. Okay. So if that felt abrupt, honestly, it's because I loved Evil Dead Burn and I wanted to
Yeah.
talk more about it. And I knew I was going to forget to do the MJR thing. So I just wanted
Okay.
to get it out of the way.
Fair enough.
All right. So Evil Dead Burn was what separated it. And I'm going to do my best not to get into spoilers here.
Please.
Everything I
Yeah.
talk about is just going to be things that have already been shown online in the trailers. Okay. But Evil Dead Burn, I will say it takes a different route than the normal movies. The normal movies set it up where, hey, we find the book, we read the book, and then we unleash the Deadites. All I'll say is this one is different. How we get to the Deadites attacking, they've found a logical way within the mythology to do something new. And so the last film, Evil Dead Rise, had a weird framing device at the lake in a cabin. Do you remember that at all?
Yes.
Okay. Well, this film opens with a continuation of that scene, and that leads us into our story. And it explains how that is all connected.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. I was okay. So I really did think they did a great job with balancing the scary, fun, unique stuff. Because why I like The Evil Dead isn't just blood, it's the unique kills, I guess. There is something I didn't say on my review, and there's something I need to tell everyone here. There's a trigger warning. I'm dead serious. One of the Deadites I'll just say it, stabs a dog pretty brutally.
Oh,
Like so,
damn.
yeah. So there is something that people need to know about that. I don't want to gloss over that. It starts when things start out before they get crazy. One of the characters who is infected, and it sucks. It's not fun to watch.
Uh,
So if that's gonna bother you, that is in this movie.
Mia did that in the Evil Dead 2014 one.
I'm not going to compare the gruesomeness because 2013 was more gruesome of a film overall,
It really was.
but this one was not a nice like you're going to be like Sparky,
yeah, I hate when like not the dog, not the dog.
All right.
Like
So luckily it's very well advertised. So the entire suspense aspect when you think is this going to happen? So it is going to happen. So just look away.
I mean, okay, that's a good warning.
Yeah,
I
right?
appreciate the warning.
I hope no one considered that a spoiler. I'm sorry if you did, but while I'm praising about a movie, I think I should say that there's a trigger warning when if anyone has an issue with abuse to animals,
I mean, that's fair.
right?
That's fair.
Yeah. But that's all I got to say about that, guys. I liked it. I think you'll like it too if you're an Evil Dead fan. It adds to the mythology. It is a true sequel to the last one, and if you pay attention to the details, does kind of craft the entire franchise together. Which, by the way, right now the going theory is in Army of Darkness, when Ash goes to the cemetery, you can see 3 Necronomicons. The idea that Mia from the 2013 had one Necronomicon. The Necronomicon from Evil Dead Rise is another one, and then the third Necronomicon, or the first, depending, is Ash's storyline. So all of these movies and shows have all happened in the same universe, but we're following the events of 3 different books and how they're affecting the world. That is the going theory. It's one of those theories where everything lines up, the fans agree, and the creators were like, sure. So
I mean, that sounds like plausible to me.
Well, it's kind of like the Zelda having 3 timelines. That's the idea. Is it's instead of timelines, it's 3 books and what's happening. And it's supported by the fact that in Army of Darkness you see 3 books, and in Evil Dead Rise it is mentioned that there are 3 books. So there you go.
So there you
And
go. Yeah,
since there's not an introduction to a new book in this film and it's connected to Evil Dead Rise, you assume this is the one continuity we're following.
that's right.
Yeah. Have I gone too far into this?
No,
Okay, excellent. Well, that was spooky.
that was spooky.
I think you found something kind of spooky for this week, didn't you?
I did. Down under.
Oh,
Gonna go to Australia.
oh man, I thought we were just getting saucy for a second.
No,
Yeah.
no. Just keeping it spooky.
All right, let's
Not
flush the
creepy.
toilets in the other direction on
Uh,
this week's
Spooky
I
stuff.
thought so.
Seamless.
Perfect. All right, well, go ahead, my friend.
All right, let's start this off. Get this ready. The Monte Cristo Homestead.
Ooh.
The Monte Cristo Homestead in New South Wales, Australia, is known as one of the most haunted places in the country. The Monte Cristo Homestead was built in 1885 by Christopher William Crawley, a wealthy pioneer. Formerly a farmer, he and his wife Elizabeth settled close to a railway line that opened in 1878. They opened a hotel and it was big business.
I mean, hold on, like right at a railroad stop.
Hmm.
I mean, when we were just venturing out, the railroad was connecting these rural places, and anything that popped up, it was like the reason why so many cities are developed around ports. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So yeah, I bet that was happening.
like that was smart.
Yeah, it was. But let me guess, it's all gonna dry up.
Well, the Victorian homestead remained in the Crowley family for over 90 years until it was purchased by Reg and Olive Ryan in 1963.
Reg
Yeah, Reg
and Olive.
and Olive. These are real names. Yeah.
Reg and Olive Ryan.
Yes.
I'm Reg Ryan.
I'm Reg Ryan.
That's kind of an awesome name.
It is cool.
All right.
And they got it for €1,000. Between the Ryans, it was left empty for a decade with several caretakers coming and going. Although they tried to watch out for the place, the house was vandalized, the furniture stolen, and it looked like it would decay to ruins. Even the Catholic Church had refused it as a gift because of how ruined it was.
Oh, that's a bad sign.
In,
Because I've seen a lot
yeah.
of like we live near Detroit, and there's a lot of abandoned churches. So to think that someone's like, oh, we don't, that's not even good enough for us.
Oh, dude, what a project, right? Holy crap. But so
because
in-
they don't get rid of those.
no, they're everywhere
Occasionally they turn into concert halls.
sometimes.
Yeah. What was it?
Sanctuary used to
it was
be
in-
in like an old place.
Right on. Isn't there? There was like a couple in Detroit. Wasn't there one? Clutch Cargoes? Wasn't that one?
I think. I
Okay.
don't know,
Yeah,
I
I'm
can't-
asking the wrong person.
I
He
don't
only
know.
toured and went to all these places.
I know. Well, I'm just saying that doesn't compute to me. So there you go.
Moving on.
Moving on. Instead, the Ryans restored the homestead and opened it to the public for tours as museum, souvenir shop, and antique showcase.
All right.
Little by little, it was
That's what they did
restored.
with the Henry Ford estate.
Right.
Yeah.
It was restored to its former glory, and it became the finest house in town. However,
Hold on. Does it count as being the final house in town if you're running it as a museum? Because I feel like that's you giving up. Like if you're a rich person, you have this big house, and what happens? Well, you have old money, or things get more expensive, or whatever. The point is, taking care of a house that big is ridiculous. Back in the day, I don't know, this is going to sound terrible, but maybe you paid servants less. But like, think about it. Like the running of a house, just keeping like having a pool, having someone
Yeah.
keep the chlorine, having someone just think about how dirty your apartment gets, having someone just sweep a room that you haven't even been
Well,
into in like
and-
a week.
Well, they said that it said they had a lot of caretakers coming and going. Like it was a while before they cleaned it. Like they didn't even like really fix it up. They had caretakers for the place too.
Yeah, but a caretaker just means, and it said it got vandalized and stuff got
Yeah,
stolen. So how
so they
good
didn't
was
do
the
a great. They
Yeah,
didn't do a great
like how
job.
good was the caretaker? It was just old man Jenkins with his stool outside. Like, hey, you kids, better stay out of here. I'm
Come
gonna-
over here,
Yeah,
and I will cut you.
He's
And
gonna,
no.
even if he had a shotgun, he's just an old man on a stool rocking. Not even a rocking chair, just a stool. He might fall, but he never does. You're just waiting for him. You're kind of tempted to jump in front of the shotgun just to see hit the ricochet or the whatever, shoot him backwards.
It's like, dude, we've stolen so much stuff. This guy hasn't moved an inch.
Is he alive?
I don't know.
Maybe he was like a Bobby, from England.
Dude, I'm just gonna go ahead and draw some stuff.
Just wave in front of him.
So, however,
However,
it wasn't long before visitors began reporting strange occurrences to the Ryans and their 5 children, leading to the homestead's reputation as one of the most haunted places in Australia, as they then advertised themselves as
oh
after
yeah.
that.
If
Oh,
you,
yeah.
I mean, if you're already like a museum and a place for tourists, and
Yep.
then you find out you're haunted, you capitalize on that.
I mean, right?
Yeah. The only thing that makes it legit is they didn't start out with that, so it makes it seem like okay, maybe they did discover it, or maybe it was a business tactic. But in any case, they I don't know.
There's history.
Oh yeah, there's history.
Oh, there's history.
Let's hear the history.
So, the first sign for the Ryans that their new forever home was haunted was one foggy evening when they came from town with supplies. Back then, the house didn't have any electricity. When they saw light coming out of every door and window in the house, they had to stop the car, thinking it was squatters that had moved in. When they got closer, the lights turned off. And when they checked the house, there was no one there. They tried to explain it away, but over the years, the family noticed a lot of weird things happening. They felt it had to be
Hold on. I couldn't explain that away.
I know,
Like I'm
right?
a logical person. I'd be like, no, screw that. I saw those lights on.
In every window and every doorway, and they could see it from the car, so it was bright.
Yeah. So if it's not like ghost, like someone just time traveled from inside your house,
I didn't
like
even
it
think
was the
about time
Flash,
travel,
right?
right?
Yeah. That's like that was the logical explanation.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is
Yeah.
actually not bad.
Time travel
Well done.
solved it.
Joe solved this. So we're done. No, I'm kidding.
Moving on to the next segment, which guys is of course. All right, keep going.
All right. So they tried to explain it away, but over the years, the family noticed a lot of weird things happening that had to be a part of the house's haunted history. When bringing pets, they refused to enter the property and didn't want to stay in the house. In one of the more extreme cases, they once came home to find all of their chickens and pet parrot strangled to death, as well as a litter of kittens who had been murdered.
It's weird that you would specify that some were strangled to death and the others were murdered. Does that imply that the ones that were strangled to death was an accident? Like, all right,
I don't
that one was
know.
depressed. So, that one it could be. But those kittens, they were straight murdered.
They were there's mystery afoot.
Boom, boom, dun, 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 dun.
The Monte Cristo Homestead is said to be home to at least 10 ghostly inhabitants, including the ghost of a maid who fell to her death from the balcony, a stable boy who was burned alive, and a former caretaker who is said to still roam the halls.
Wait, why? I know you don't know this, but why was that guy burned alive?
Oh, you will see.
Oh, really?
You will see.
Hooray!
Visitors have reported hearing footsteps, seeing apparitions, and feeling cold spots throughout the homestead. Some have even claimed to have been touched or pushed by unseen forces. Despite its spooky reputation, the Monte Cristo homestead continues to attract visitors from all over the world since the Ryans opened the house for visitors in the 90s, who are eager to experience its ghostly inhabitants for themselves. So, the Blue Room, where the former owner of the homestead died, is said to be the most haunted room in the house.
The blue room?
The Blue Room.
Is it painted blue?
I'm
Or
assuming.
does it just make you sad?
I don't
Like
know.
you go in there and you're just like, I'm blue.
I mean, you're silly.
Sorry.
The Blue Room, according to rumors. He died from a sudden blood poisoning because his starched collar infected a boil on his neck in 1910.
Ah, what a shitty way to go. You just
It's-
trying not to have like gross clothes, and you're like, I gotta starch this so it's all white and crisp. And then your dang boil.
well, I had that for a few years now, but it's not too bad, right?
I don't really want to look it up or get too much into it, but I mean, like, is a boil just like an open sore, like
A
a
boil,
blister that's open or
it's
something?
like basically like a more extreme zit.
Gross.
That's just the best way to. It's filled with pus. It's
I know
disgusting. It's
it's
deep.
that sucks for anyone who has to deal with that, and knock on wood, we don't. Moving on.
Anyways,
It's like I don't know how to get out of this. It's gross.
so they seemingly looked like any other hardworking Victorian couples, But rumors about mistreatment and them being cruel to their servants started spreading. Now, this is of the original owner, Crawley.
Oh, so they're murdering their servants. I mean, that makes sense. I mean,
Ooh,
if you're
Joe's catching on quick.
yeah. I mean, that's just super Game of Thrones. It's fine.
Kind of reminded me of The Haunting,
Yeah.
with
I
U-
mean, you're
Ukraine
rich.
or whatever,
Yeah.
he killing all the kids and stuff,
Yeah. I mean, you shouldn't kill anyone, but you know, yeah, I get it.
right?
People with money are murdering people all the time. I mean, watch the news.
So over the years, the children of the Ryans have always had a feeling of being watched by an elderly man.
Well, that's creepy.
His wife, Crawley's wife, Elizabeth, is said to haunt the manor. She became a recluse after the death of her husband. During the 23 years she lived on after her husband, it was said that she only showed herself twice and spent most of her time in the chapel attic. She died when she was 92 of a ruptured appendix.
Okay.
Crappy time for medicine.
Yeah, but 92 ain't bad.
No, no, she
Yeah.
did effing well. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
And a ruptured appendix?
Yeah.
You're 92. It could have been anything, especially if you're
Sure.
hanging out in the attic, man. And who knows? That could have been a really awesome attic. Like, I don't know what their era version of like air hockey would be, but whatever. It could be all man caved
And
out.
she made it like a chapel.
Yeah, cool.
She was super religious.
Well, I mean, if that's how you get your cookies, man, go for it.
Yeah.
Oh.
So she is often dubbed the Gray Lady, wearing her black lace dress, lace cap with a stand-up beaded collar, and walks through the halls, still treating the house as her own, ruling it with the same strict manner as when she was alive. It is said that she doesn't particularly like having guests.
I mean, that makes sense. She locked herself in an attic. I mean, you could kind of figure that person doesn't want to have a dinner party.
No,
Yeah.
she the more you learn about the people who had died there and everything that's happened, you're just like, the cops just didn't. They were pretty loosey goosey back then in Australia,
Well, that's what I
evidently,
was
or
saying,
wherever
bro.
they're at.
I know when it got a little awkward earlier when I was saying I understood, that's what I meant. Like it's on the railroad, it's a rural place, they have money, like you're killing your servants. Yeah, you could probably get away with that for it's before forensics.
And they're rich.
So yeah, exactly. So it's just like, did you murder this person? No. And she was Irish. Well, I've heard enough.
They're
Do you
like,
know
oh,
what I mean? Like,
goodness, thank you.
Yeah, like I
Ugh.
mean, people were not always
No,
great.
no. The further back you go, the worse we all get. You know.
I mean, I'd like to think it ebbs and flows, but yeah.
Yeah. You know, we're doing pretty. We're doing okay. Doing okay. So
We're not doing okay.
the nursery. Let's go to the nursery.
All right.
The nursery is also said to be haunted by the ghost of a child who died.
I mean, that makes sense.
The Crawleys had a 10-month-old baby named Ethel, who died when the nanny dropped her by accident down the stairs in 1917. Or was it actually on purpose? As some have speculated, visitors have reported hearing the sound of a child crying and feeling a cold presence in the room. There was also another young boy who fell to his death when he fell down the stairs, but not much is known about him.
Oh, tough break.
The sound of children playing in the mansion's halls have been reported together with the flickering lights and sudden drops in temperature.
You know what I just keep thinking about? What does a ghost baby do? Because like a ghost is haunting, it's got unfinished business. Like I never finished my book. I never told my son I loved him. Whatever, right? What's like a 10-month-old bear is all. It's a potato. Like it doesn't do much. So like it's just like I can't find that rattle. Or like
That's
what is
why I feel
what
like
is a
it's
ghost
just
puppy?
a sadness, you know?
Yeah, that's got to be energy. That can't actually be a like a presence,
Right. It's
right?
more of a feeling.
Because it would just be.
It'd be feeling stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it could be because that would just be sad.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Thinking of Ghost Babe.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, it was a breastfed baby. So just like,
Ooh.
oh my God, maybe that's it. Maybe boo comes
where
from
boo-
exactly the first person who recorded what ghosts say happened to hear a ghost baby.
We've been hearing ghost babies the whole time.
Boo, and we leave.
And we just- and
we leave because we're afraid before we hear the buzz.
But and then he's just like, I
Yeah.
really need to go
Yeah.
faster.
Oh man,
I need to speak
I'm
faster.
sorry this is drawn out. I'm just learning how to talk.
He's like practicing. He's like, boob. I want boob.
Boob.
Boob. And then sees a person. Ooh, he's like,
It's like,
damn it.
Jacob, you did it again.
Ah.
It's gonna be like another 20 years before people visit this damn mansion.
It's been hundreds of years since my last boob.
Dear diary, my thunder grows ever further.
The servants' quarters are said to be haunted by the ghost of a maid, who I said earlier, who fell to her death from the balcony on the second floor.
Maybe she killed herself because she threw a baby down the stairs.
It is said that you can still see the bleach stain from when they tried to remove all of the blood. Some say that she was pregnant with Crawley's baby, and her death was actually a murder to cover it up. Visitors have reported hearing footsteps of a busy maid in the dead of night, and some people claim to have seen a ghostly figure of a woman on the balcony. Another servant thought to be haunting the estate was the stable boy named Morris. He slept.
Okay, so this is the guy who like burnt to death.
Yes.
How did he burn to death? He's a stable boy. You should be dealing with hay and horses.
Was a stable boy.
Yeah. All right. What did you do, dude?
So he slept on a straw mattress
That's your first problem.
that was set on fire
Oh.
after he stayed in bed saying he was sick instead of going to work, and he died from the burns. Was it Crawley who wanted to teach him a lesson, or just the spark of a fire nearby? So you know what people suggest.
I mean, yeah, it sounds like your
Yeah.
boss was pissed off you didn't come to work and set you on fire.
Yes, you are
Yeah.
on fire now.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, that's not going to help him get to work, though.
No, but it will kill him, which seemed to be the plan. Well done, Crawley, I guess.
I mean, was there some kind of severance he was worried about paying, or did he just feed off
I don't think
torture?
there was a worry about it.
Oh, so he's just a psychopath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
To
Well,
this-
I mean, you get a job. Your fault.
Yeah, you know, what are you doing getting a job? You can't pick your bosses.
I'm just saying, well, I'm thinking about it, and I'm just like, I don't really know how to like spin that. Like, imagine you're in that situation where you're out in the middle of nowhere. You probably took the train to this place. You stop at a stop, and then someone, for whatever reason, you stay for a night or whatever, they offer you a job, and it's like you're just trying to live your life. Be like, yeah, I could do this. I could stay here and like clean and stuff. And then it's like you get sick, you get the flu, and your boss just sets you on fire.
I mean, Crawley
That's
sounds
rough.
like a real son of a.
Well, isn't
know?
Aleister Crowley the guy who made the Necronomicon? I know that they're not the same person, but didn't he start up like at least a version of Satanism? So I'm just saying Crowley is the last name.
No, I believe it's a different Crawley. That's
no,
like
no, they're completely different Crowley. I'm not
Yeah.
comparing. I'm just saying it's the same last name. Every Wakefield I've met, it's not important.
Okie dokie then. To this day, it is said you can hear the dying screams from the young stable boy Morris coming from the old carriage house.
Rough.
One day, a maid died after giving birth. Her son, named Harold Steele, grew up on the estate. Rumor in town is that he is the illegitimate child of Crawley. He got into a carriage accident in Junee and developed a mental illness. This caused him to become aggressive, and they had to chain him in the back of the cottage for more than 30 years. His hair
Feels like there was other ways you could have handled that.
I believe so. These sound like terrible people. His hair became dreaded, and he howled in the night, making the locals believe that it was a creature chained in the house until they put him in an asylum when the authorities finally discovered him.
Yeah, if this was a season of American Horror Story, he would have either been a monster or turned into a monster.
That's what I'm saying. This is so American Horror Story.
It is really strange to think like, I mean, you just wanted to torture the kid because you could have just. I mean, I'm not saying you should murder
I
people,
think he
but you could
did.
have just killed him.
It
Like
sounded
that
like
sounds
they were.
like you just are like a screwed up and just want to like cause crazy torture.
Yeah, they were sick.
Seemed like it.
Yeah.
Or was maybe him sick and she was just kind of like recluse? Because it's not like it kept going after he died, right?
I think you're right.
So
So, sorry about that.
I feel you.
No, that's okay. You threw me. So they put him in. Yes. Still to this day, some claim they can hear the howling and hissing that Harold used to make coming from the cottages at night. So all the cottages on the estate.
got around.
In 1961, Jack Simpson, a caretaker, was shot dead by a boy who was inspired by the movie Psycho and had seen the movie 3 times before the murder.
Wait, he was inspired by the movie Psycho and he shot him?
Yeah,
Oh, you didn't get the point of that film.
no, he screwed that one up.
Yeah.
The words "Die Jack, ha ha" were carved into the shed door, where they can still be seen today. It is said that caretaker has joined the ranks of the ghosts. Visitors to the Monte Cristo homestead have reported a range of spine tingling experiences. Some have reported feeling a heavy presence in certain rooms, while others have heard unexplained noises or seen ghostly figures. Many visitors have reported feeling a sense of unease or fear while exploring the homestead. In January 2025, the family closed down the house for visitors because of the passing of Olive Ryan. They said that the Monte Cristo homestead would never open again on their official Facebook page. Although the
Well, I
house,
mean, if it was on Facebook.
right, Facebook official.
Yeah.
Although the house is now moving into a new phase, many ghost tours and guides want to keep the legacy and house's history alive together with the ghosts.
Yeah.
So
I hope it turns into like a really inappropriate coffee shop.
I wasn't able to find anything like solid on it. But yeah, I know that there's a lot of people that are vying to get the property, I believe, and they're going to continue it on. So if you're sad that it's gone away, I think it'll come back. I think someone will get it.
Right on, right on. I mean, I would take it. I would set it up. I would make it, but I would do like an Airbnb. It depends on how haunted it is, because you don't want to deal with
It,
actually having to dispose of bodies.
just have a waiver.
Well, yes, have a waiver for sure, but like still, if people show up dead at your place, it's an issue.
And I mean,
So,
the cleanup, you know?
well, I mean, that's kind of it, right? I mean, but yeah, if you're just like, look, dude, we're not responsible for any psychological torture that may happen. Here are the ghosts you may hear or encounter. Here's a list. You know, we're upfront about all this, and enjoy your stay.
Right.
You get an Andes mint on your pillow.
No, that's why, like, the more I learned about this place, I was like, another ghost, another ghost. I was like, holy crap, there are so many
It does
ghosts.
sound like the owners just murdered a bunch of servants.
That's what I think. So that's me tying this together
Yeah.
is, yeah, Crawley, I think, was a sick man. And I believe his wife was probably,
Screwing servants, killing kids, and fighting around the world.
and he was probably abusing his wife, Elizabeth.
Okay.
And that's probably why she was so crazy quiet.
He's not a nice guy, but nothing we read said he abused his wife.
I said
okay?
probably.
He may have murdered servants. He perhaps was a womanizer. He wasn't a good guy,
No.
but
Oh, I'm sure he treated Elizabeth like a goddess.
right. What is it like? If it looks like a goat, it smells like a goat, it sounds like a goat, it's probably a
Oh,
goat.
yeah. So
Yeah.
he treated her. So she
Yeah.
was abused and traumatized from him, and she knew everything he was doing. You know,
So,
killing. There's
screw it,
like,
guys. I'm staying in the attic.
dude, right? That's why
done.
she built like a chapel in the attic to get away from everything
Oh man, yeah, yeah.
and to
yeah.
pray to God for help.
Okay, well, now
Dude,
you make me feel bad for making a joke.
Dude, it's okay. That's what we do here. But yeah, but also, no, I do want to like drive in how freaking
Yeah, the guy was a psychopath.
this was a good story that I found because I was literally just like, I've never looked up an Australian ghost story, and I just type it in, and this was the first thing that popped up. And the more I read about it, the more I was like, oh yeah, everybody's gonna love this.
Awesome. Well, thank you for bringing it to us.
Thank you guys for listening. We would love to hear from you. If you would like to suggest a ghost story yourself, have you seen a ghost? Email us at earthlingentertainmentpodcast@gmail.com.
Well, you know, some supernatural things may not be caused by ghosts. They could be caused by artifacts. That was the premise for a show called Warehouse 13. I don't know if you guys were fans, but I was. It was it was 2009 to like 2015. I believe that is correct. And it was 5 seasons of a show. It was a hit show on the Syfy channel where Agent Lattimer, and his partner and their group of friends go and they find artifacts which have been like given some kind of power. So it was a little bit of like
I remember, yeah.
X-Files. Yeah, it was. I love that show so
Yeah.
much so that I wanted to reach out to Eddie McClintock, who played Pete Lattimer on the show.
Oh, that's so cool.
Luckily, he was like, yeah, dude, I'll come on, and we got him on. And Ryan's gonna
Nice.
tell you a little bit about him now. But thanks again, man, if you're watching, appreciate it.
This week we're joined by actor Eddie McClintock, best known for his fan favorite role as Secret Service agent Pete Lattimer on the hit sci-fi series Warehouse 13. With a career spanning television and film, Eddie has brought his signature blend of humor, charisma, and heart to everything from action and sci fi to comedy. Whether you know him from Warehouse 13 or one of his many other roles, we're excited to sit down and talk about his career, behind the scenes stories, and what he's been up to lately. Please welcome Eddie McClintock.
Eddie, thanks for being here with us.
Thank you, Joe. Thanks for having me.
No worries, man. Well, if you don't mind, I'm going to start right into the Warehouse 13 train. It is like one of my favorite shows, and I've been dying to talk to someone, and I couldn't believe I actually got you, one of the leads. I mean, you were Pete Lattimer.
Yeah, I know. I know. That's what they tell me.
Well, you know what? They're right. And so, yeah, you've been on the show, obviously it lasted 5 seasons. And I wanted to know, out of all of those seasons, was there any one that you liked better for any particular reason?
A particular season? No, I can't really remember think of a season that I liked better. I mean, I definitely have my favorite episodes.
Well, please tell.
For the telenovela episode, Savage Seduction. I grew up as a big back in my day, we watched Carol Burnett and Harvey Korman and Tim Conway and Mel Brooks and stuff. So I loved high comedy, always been a fan of high comedy. And what I mean by high comedy is like over the top, foolish, ridiculous. And it just so happened that in Savage Seduction, the artifact was Harvey Korman's cufflinks from, because he would always Tim Conway would always make Harvey Korman break character while they were shooting. And so in the episode, if you held on to the Harvey Korman cufflinks, you stayed in to your true self. So that episode, playing Armando, just the ridiculous, when they would do the horn, and it just was so. When I saw it, I mean, when we were filming it, I just, it was such a great opportunity to just chew on all the scenery. The It's a Wonderful Life episode where Pete gets to nuzzle Mrs. Frederick's ample bosom at the end. I mean,
I mean, how can you beat that, right?
how many actors can say that they've done that? That was another, and then the body switching episode, where I got to do all the annoying interpretations of Joanne that I'd been doing behind her back. I got to do them on camera. So, and then of course her interpretation for me was like a monkey of some kind, which totally fits. Um,
Well,
uh,
actually, I did want to ask you a little bit about that episode. When approaching one of these body swap episodes, how hard is it to unpack someone else's mannerisms and voice patterns? And you said you did it offset, just having fun. So were you already prepared, or is it something you really had a deep dive into when you knew that was going to be something you had to perform?
No, no. I mean, I spent 16 hours a day, 5 days a week for 6 months with Joanne. So, and I've always been kind of since I was a little kid. I used to do Rosanna Dana for my mom, and different kind of impersonations and stuff. So being able to do Joanne Pete was just Pete. Like 90% of the Pete's that were on camera were not in the script. So that was just Joanne doing her Pete's. So I kind of exploited that, and to her chagrin, I suppose.
Well, Joanne, who obviously played Micah, Pete and Micah became one of the like sci-fi's best duos. I mean, you got like Mulder and Scully, you got all the team ups, but like Pete and Micah, man, you guys really, really pulled it off. And I wanted to know what made your chemistry of Joanne work so well.
So when we tested at the network, you if for those who don't know basic process. So you get an audition, right? And you go into your audition. Depending on who you are, sometimes you'll go straight to producers, or you'll come in for casting first. So let's say you come in for casting first. You come in and you show them you give them your audition, and then casting says, okay, we're going to move you on to producers. Then you go into for producers, and then producers say, okay, we're going to move you on to the studio. And then you go into the studio, and so every audition gets bigger and bigger and bigger with more people and more important people, and so by the time you get to the network, I think, well, because I'm very important, I went straight to producers for the show. So I went from producers to studio to network, and by the time I got to network, you're hoping that they've whittled it down to maybe, two Pete's, maybe three. It's between you and one other guy. But so I show up um to the network test, and they had six or seven Pete's. I mean, it was the most heartbreaking, it's like, because you go, 50-50, but
It's a lot better than 10%.
1 in 6,
Yeah.
so they had six Pete's and they had six Micahs, and they were mixing and matching throughout the day. They were like, look, you guys are going to be here a while. So mixing and matching. And at one point let's say they sent three Pete's home and three Micahs home, which is just brutal, like, because if you're them, you're walking out the door going, so
Yeah.
are we gonna, is it, yeah, we'll call you.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking.
Especially to make it that far in the process. I mean, it
Yeah,
happens, obviously.
yeah, and there were a lot of, as I found out later, there were some sci-fi luminaries that were in the mix for Pete, like some guys who had already been on other sci-fi shows before, and I can't recall who they were because I had tunnel vision, but I remembered, I found out later that they were like, oh yeah, so and so was in there, so and so was, I was like, oh, okay. But so they're mixing and matching, we're going through, and the door opens up, and one of the guys that had just auditioned for Pete comes out, and the Micah comes out, and then the door opens up, and the director opens the door, and he goes, hey, so and so, and he kind of grabs him and he puts his arm around him and walks him down the hall. Walks him down the hall, and I was like, that's it.
Yeah.
There it is. And I start taking my tie off, and the other Pete's and Micahs are sitting on the couch there, and I was like, you know what, man? Wow, okay. And I went off on this thing about how I had two sons, both of them were in diapers, and they're waiting for me to, whoa, whoa, fly in and regurgitate the worm. They're like two little, you know, baby birds with their, and I got no worm, and I don't know, I did some hysterical angry rant, and I remember Joanne was like, hey, come here, and she brought me over, and I sat down next to her, and I hadn't mixed with her yet, like I hadn't gone in with her, so I didn't know who she was. She was definitely the best looking of all the, like, I was like, oh, okay, she's, good look. I mean, tall, thin,
Yeah,
beautiful.
beautiful woman. Absolutely.
Yeah. And she was like, dude, I remember she didn't know my name, so she was like, dude, man, it's all, gonna work out. It'll be fine. And I'm like, man, no, I know what that means. I know what that means. And then the door opens up, and they go, Eddie, Joanne, you're next. And she kind of looked at me, and I kind of was like, looked at her, and she was like, see, like I told you. So Joanne and I go in together, and we're doing the scene from the pilot where Pete shows up late and we're at the museum and it's the Bloodstone and the president's coming in and Pete, Pete's laissez-faire attitude and and Micah is supposed to call Pete a showboat and Joanne called me a showbot. She said showbot by accident. And we both kind of stopped and looked at each other. And then I started doing the robot. And then I did this hee hee Michael Jackson like kick and I grabbed my groin. And then she looked at me and I'm looking at her and she punches me in the shoulder. And I did this like, like,
Like
uh,
we've seen so much in the show.
exactly. And I remember looking around at the room because it's all network executives and then the head of the network, and it was Mark Stern was the head of original programming for the rebrand and during that time. So all the network executives are kind of looking at him to see how they should respond. Like if he's laughing, oh, yeah, yes, 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 oh, very good. And if he, so
So if you win
everybody
that guy over, you won the room.
yeah, so everybody's taking each other's temperature in that room at the time. And I remember like the looks of like incredulity, like what's happening? What's happening? And so anyway, we kind of finished up and we walked out, and apparently I found this out later, and Mark Stern turned to everybody in the room and they go, whatever that was that just happened in here, that's what I want.
That's the
And
chemistry.
so the an actor's biggest fear is to make a mistake in the test. And so kind of the 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 dynamic of Pete and Micah was born out of a mistake in the room and you know the characters were very much, and I don't know if it just was because the writer Jack Kenny recognized this in us or I think maybe it was a combination, but Joanne was very much Micah and I was very much Pete. Like was in the pilot when we shot the pilot, there was this where Artie meets them and says, I made cookies. And it was just my impulse to go, ooh. And
Cookie.
and I remember the director going, I don't know. All right, do one of those and then do it normal. And because tonally, originally the show was going to be more like, at least in the pilot, it was going to be more like X-Files, more serious. And um, apparently they turned in again. This is what I was told later that they turned the pilot in, and Mark Stern said, "Where's all Eddie's stuff? Where's all Eddie's like ridiculous stuff? Put it
Yeah,
all
where's the
back."
heart? Where's the humor?
Yeah, and then actually, our exec producer, they fired him, and they hired Jack Kenny, who basically said to them, look, I don't know sci-fi. I'm not a sci-fi guy. I don't know anything about sci-fi. What I do know is I know how to write family and I know how to write comedy and I know how to write heart. So just surround me with nerds and they can all, do the sci-fi stuff and I'll be the heart of the show. And he really was. I mean, like the whole Pete's hey, 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 that was I lifted that from What's Happening, from the show What's Happening, and my buddy and I, when we would meet each other in the morning to go surfing, we started being like, hey, hey, hey. We would do it to each other, and then I was saying it around the set, and next thing I know, I'm like, oh, there it is in the script. So it was very much Cause then there's really no lot there's no, really no acting going on, man. It's just me, I mean, it was like a dream job for me because I got to show up every day and just eat cookies and push buttons and lick things and fart and
Have a good old time.
be a Neanderthal. And Joanne and I, we had discussions where, you have those shows where you have the male character and the female character, and are they going to get together? And like, like when one is looking away, the other one will steal a glance over at them. And so we leaned far, far. We wanted them to be partners. We wanted them to love each other and protect each other, but in a way that respected the boundaries of this job that we had to do. So and which kind of opened the door for all the HG Micah shippers, um, and
Which
the
there were
girl.
plenty of.
Yeah, yeah, and excuse me, and the girls really leaned into that. They leaned into the Micah HG ship, so which was cool. Whatever, man. Yeah,
Well, Pete had his share of girlfriends throughout. I remember you almost even were about to give away the secret of the warehouse, which you could only do to one person.
oh yeah, wow. But remind me, because
Mhm.
who was it? Which was it? Tia. Well, I got to make out with Tia Carrere, right?
That's true. That's
And
true.
I had had bacon and eggs for breakfast that morning. She was like, "Are you serious? I, are you serious? I can taste the bacon." I'm like, "What?" Every time I see Tia, she always busts my balls about that.
Well,
Um,
she made out with Mike Myers, so it had to be about the same. I'm just saying. You're both goofy,
yeah,
fun guys.
exactly, minus the bacon and eggs.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then
you don't know that, to be fair.
that's true. That's true. Um, Jerry Ryan was my ex-wife. I mean, 7 of 9. I mean, I literally said to her when I met her at the table read, she was there. It was the first time I met her, and I just was like, I just want you to know my street cred just went up like 95%. And because like that was just crazy. I grew up with 7 of 9, right? Like I watch her on TV
Yeah,
and
Voyager was wonderful.
Paula Garces, of course. She was amazing. And then I kind of oh man, wow, I'm spacing. She was on Battlestar Galactica. Trisha Helfer.
Mm.
Trisha Helfer, and Pete kind of were like, are they going, so Pete had a good run. He had a really good run.
Yeah, and well, like you said, is not trying to get those two characters of Pete and Micah together, really opened it to have those relationships with other characters because
Yeah.
otherwise you're, a one-trick pony when it comes to romance. This diversified.
Right. Micah's relationship with Sam that, haunted her for the series,
Yeah,
uh, which was cool. Yeah. So, yes.
perfect. All right, well, here, I have another question for you.
Yeah.
Throughout all 64 episodes, you came across like so many artifacts. Now, was there ever one when reading the script or seeing an episode later that you were like, man, I wish I had that, or man, I wish that one was real?
What did I used to say? I mean, I had some outrageous, I think like the John Holmes penis pump. Um, I don't even know if people know who John Holmes was now, but I remember back in the day, like I may or may not have been looking at a like a Hustler magazine or whatever, and they had literally they had a product called the John Holmes penis pump, which if anyone knows, anyway, do your research.
Let's go. I got the image from Austin Powers in my head. I totally fine.
Yeah, and like I said when it was a more tame audience, I guess I said to have um, Janis Joplin's backstage pass from um, from um, what,
Woodstock?
well, yeah, I'm so sorry. Yes, from Woodstock. Duh, I'm old and my brain is going. Sorry.
No
Yes.
worries. But what would that
Yeah.
artifact do? If you had Janis Joplin's backstage pass, what would the
Well,
power be?
well, let me tell you, Joe.
All right.
Here's what would happen with the backstage pass. You could go to any concert. You had backstage pass to any concert that you ever wanted to go to. So
Ooh.
I could go to see the Doors. I could go to see Led Zeppelin in the day. I could go see early Black Sabbath. For me, it's like that was music is kind of really important to me. So, but there's always a downside, right?
Right. Yeah.
And Janice was known for drinking a lot of Jack Daniels, which I think is kind of what killed her. Well, one of the contributing factors. So you ended up, being affected by the Jack Daniels. And then at that time, it was when Lindsay Lohan was in rehab. And I would say, yeah, and then you would end up in rehab with Lindsay Lohan. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, here's the thing, though. What if you go to the backstage pass, you go there, you get Janis Joplin drunk as a side effect? Then the evil catch, kind of the be careful if you wish for, is you're always too drunk to remember the concert.
Ah,
That would be rough.
see, you should have been a staff writer, Joe.
Well, you know what? Maybe someday when we do the revival. So,
I'm trying. I've tried.
hey, that is happening all the time. I have to imagine if they ever do I mean, if Syfy hit you up tomorrow and said, you know what, it's a go, you on board? What would your demands be?
Of course. What my demands?
Yeah, like who would you bring back? What are the things that you need to come back in order to make a proper revival? I mean, technically, Warehouse 14 is in Canada. So I don't know. I mean, that's how the show ended. So
Yeah,
he
I
would
mean,
have to move to Canada.
that's where we shot in Toronto, which was kind of it was kind of the downside of the artifact of getting that job because I got this amazing job, but I had just bought my first home and I had two babies in diapers. My wife is from Corpus Christi, Texas, where it's 100 degrees every day, and all of a sudden, Toronto is 20 below zero with the wind chill. And so my wife came, and my baby boys came with us the first season, and it was just too much. My wife was just like, I can't. Because every time she had to leave the house, she had to like put bundle, it just was like, it became untenable. So it was like, I had this amazing job and I had this amazing family and great new house, and yet I was living in a little apartment in 20 below zero weather. So
So much like an artifact, it had its good side and its bad side.
yeah, yeah, but mostly good, mostly good because
Definitely.
Toronto's pretty cool too. So
Well, I stole my wife from Ventura, California, and dragged her to Detroit. So I think she could
oh
empathize a bit. It's a little different, but still quite a change.
yeah, we just moved from Los Angeles. I moved to LA in 1991 and lived in LA until July of last year. And then we moved to Corpus Christi, Texas. So I'm in Corpus Christi, Texas now. And it's like, we have all these I'm waking up with mosquito bites, and we have mosquitoes in our house, like these blood-sucking bastards that like while you're sleeping, they land on you and you wake up, mosquito bites all, and I don't know how they get in. I don't know where they come from, but apparently this is kind of the thing in Corpus Christi. So
Well, maybe you'll get used to it over time. You'll just adapt.
yeah, well, we watch Naked and Afraid, and I see the people that are covered in bug bites, and I'm like, okay, I can take a couple mosquito bites. So got it. Bam. Look at that.
Well
Mosquito right
done.
out of the air.
You
Burn
Mr.
it out,
Miyagi that.
bastard.
See, it'd be a little better if you did it with chopsticks, but still, a full credit. With all the Warehouse 13 crossovers, obviously Eureka was the big one. And I wanted to know, is there any other show that you would have liked to cross over with Warehouse 13 if given the chance? Now, it doesn't actually have to be during the era that your show ran, just if you could.
Wow. Yeah, that's kind of a cool question. Uh, like Kolchak's The Night Stalker, with Darren
Mhm.
McGavin.
Sure, not what I
Um,
would have expected. How
that
would that go?
man, I don't know, but it would be cool. I loved that as a kid, that was one of my favorites.
I
Maybe
mean, I
like
guess an artifact had to be affecting the behavior of the guy, which would be
yeah.
where
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just the meat puppet, Joe. I don't know how the script would go. I would just, but I would act my ass off with Darren McGavin. Uh
yeah.
do you remember that show? Or I'm sure you do. Do
I
you?
am, yeah, I'm aware of it, but I don't have it in the forefront of my memory.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Again, I'm old, so maybe like Happy Days, where like Pete got to be the Fonz. I was a huge Fonz fan growing up.
Love it.
I wrote I
Henry
wrote
Winkler's still amazing.
oh my gosh, yeah. I wrote to Henry Winkler, I wrote to the Fonz as a little kid, and then waited, months and months and then one day I got you know, I'm assuming it was probably not handwritten, but I got a 8x10 and all, and I I remember my parents got me a Fonz like pleather jacket, and I lived in Massillon, Ohio, on this little country road where maybe one or two cars would come by every hour. But I remember I dressed up as the Fonz, and I pleated my, whatever, did uh, my jeans, and I had the white t-shirt on, and I went out and I stood by the street, and I waited for cars to come by so that people could see me as the Fonz. And years later, I was in New York City for an upfront. I don't know what I was there for, but I was there for one of the several canceled television shows that I had been on previous to Warehouse 13. And I got to meet Henry Winkler, and I got to tell him that story. And he was awesome, man. He was so sweet and such a nice, wonderful guy. So yeah, I mean, that was like a dream come true for me. I mean, I grew up in Ohio, Northeast Ohio. I wrestled and played football my whole life. I never was like had any idea or thoughts of being an actor or doing plays or anything like that. And then all of a sudden there I am, like Jane Curtin's my mom on one show, and Brent Spiner is killing me in another show, and I still am starstruck. I just did a movie with Chris Kattan down in San Diego, and
I mean,
I
he was Mr. Peepers.
I know, man. I try not to nerd out too much. Um, so yeah, I mean, I was very, very lucky, and fortunate.
I mean, not that many people could be on a show that actually has a cultural impact. And I would say Warehouse 13, at least in my life, has had a huge cultural impact. It's I throw it in the same bracket as, like you mentioned earlier, X-Files, but also Fringe. There's a lot of these sci-fi shows and Eureka tonally. But what I liked about yours is Warehouse 13 was different because it was something I would pop in a Saturday night. You watch certain things and you could be like, wow, I recognize that this is good, but it's a little heavy, so you don't want to necessarily watch it all the time. But I could rewatch Warehouse 13 over and over again because of the tone that you guys struck, because of Pete being so lovable. I mean, there was episodes where you could be happy, mad, angry, sad, all in a single thing, and it all made sense for your character. And I just wanted to know, did you have any trouble keeping that tone throughout the emotional arcs of your character?
Yeah, I mean, like you just said, one of the beautiful things about the show, one of the things that I really loved about the show is you could go through all those emotions in one scene. I remember a specific scene where Micah and Pete are carrying this big box. I don't remember. We were in the aquifers, like underneath in these like tunnels, and I can't remember what episode it was, but it was kind of like this Abbott and Costello thing where we picked up the box and then I would turn and the box would fall and then she'd be holding the box and then I'd pick up the box and it was like, this slapsticky thing. And then all of a sudden she turns to me and tells me that she has breast cancer, you know,
Yeah.
and, uh, and it just was Jack Kenny is just brilliant that way. He knows how to like, lull people into this false sense of, you know, security and joviality, and then all of a sudden, boom, he drops the bomb on you, like with the whole scene where Pete um talks about how he almost killed his best friend because he was driving drunk, and then all of a sudden in the next scene he's licking the Farnsworth and eating cookies. So you know the tone that tone, even though we did a lot of silly stuff, like it had this incredible heart at its core, like
Absolutely.
this little band of misfit toys that's brought together and formed this crazy wacky family. And yeah, I mean, I just was at the Corpus Christi Comic Con this past weekend, and the people that come up and just go, I watched this show with my dad before he passed, and it was our favorite show. And I still to this day I watch it every year, or I watch it when I go to bed at night. I go to sleep to it. Warehouse 13 has afforded me the ability to really meet a lot of great people. So,
Wow.
and all these years later, like before I did Warehouse 13, I had no idea about these conventions. I had seen the documentary Trekkies, but I didn't know it, went beyond that. And next thing you know, like we're all at this convention in New York doing panels like for giant auditorium, and it was mind blowing. It was like, definitely the days of wine and roses.
Absolutely. Well, let's say Warehouse 13 is coming back and they're going to pick up like all the years between the show and now have happened. Where do you think Latimer would be?
So I actually started writing the first episode I mean, I came up with kind of the skeleton of so it starts with this overhead, a drone at night, POV with a winding road and the cars kind of swerving from side to side, and it cuts in and it's Pete and he's driving and there's a bottle of like vodka or something next to me. He's drinking again. And he and Micah had gotten married, but they were separated because after the warehouse went away, Pete's whole being was the warehouse, his connection to the warehouse. And now he felt like, you know, he had no purpose, right? So he's drinking again. Pete, Micah is on the phone talking to like, "Oh, what's going on with Pete? I can't find him. I haven't talked to him. I think, his drinking is what had caused their separation. But Pete comes around the corner and these lights are coming at him, and then, it cuts away, like the collision with another car or whatever, and then it cuts to the hospital, and um, Pete's in the hospital room, and the doctors are all around him, and then all like they take off the thimble, and it's Micah, and then Micah is there, Claudia is there, the whole kit, Saul or Artie's there, and basically they come to rescue him and tell him that they have been recalled to the warehouse. And because of, I don't know, I didn't get that far, like I
I was
was in
kind
the
of hoping
middle.
you were going to run me through the whole pilot.
I was in the middle of, when I was trying to get the show back on the air, and I never really got to the pitch phase of my idea because uh Syfy said that they weren't interested in rebooting the show at this time. But I mean, that could change tomorrow. I guess I have to believe that. So
Yeah, very easily. I mean, let's be honest, executives cycle kind of quickly. I mean, the next guy comes in, he was a huge fan of the show. There you go, you're in business.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So you have done guest spots on so many TV shows that like people are really well known. I wanted to know, is it easy to jump on set when there's already an established family, or is it a little difficult to break the ice when you first do that?
I guess it depends on uh the level of the show. Like it's hard to walk on because you're basically, you don't know the dynamics. You don't know what's going on at the show. You don't know if the lead actor and the lead actress hate each other. You don't know if the writers are, revolting or, so you're kind of walking in. It's like walking into somebody's house with a bag of your and throwing it down in front of the TV and going, all right, I'm going to be here for the next week and a half, and then trying to ingratiate yourself without coming off as, a dork, which I think I've pulled it off sometimes and then others not so much. But like when I did Friends, they were making $1 million an episode, and I was making enough to fill up my car and get back and forth to the set every day.
Yeah,
Uh, so and it was a sitcom, so it was a live audience. But I love sitcoms. That's what I kind of started out doing. My first real job was on a show called Ned and Stacy with Thomas Hayden Church and Deborah Messing, and so I kind of made my bones in sitcoms. I always love the feedback from the audience. Like when you did something funny, you knew whether or not it was funny because although they do they do go time to clap, time to clap, time to clap, but still, I mean, if the audience is into it, you can feel it. It's just it's organic. Um, so going on Friends, that was interesting. But yeah, it's always stressful, walking on a new set and you know, making yourself as comfortable as possible.
sure.
Uh, I mean, I don't want to get, well, I don't think this is a secret, but like I went on and did Castle. When I went and did Castle, and the two of them just couldn't stand each other. So, and
Fair enough.
they were supposed to be in love. Like Nathan pulled me aside and was like, "Hey, look, man, this is what's going on here." Um, that was another, like I did this show called Shark with Jerry Ryan was in it, and James Woods.
Oh,
And
right on.
I always thought like James Woods was one of the, growing up, I was like, man, that guy, great actor, great actor. there was a scene in this where I'm standing nose to nose with James Woods, and I'm the killer. I'm the bad guy, and he's an attorney, and he's like saying, I'm gonna get you. And I'm like, give it your best shot, you know. And so I'm standing nose to nose with James Woods and doing this really intense scene. And like, again, it was like, I don't know, how did I get here? How did I end up here in this place with these people that I have so much respect for? So again, it's just one of the gifts that like I have memories, great memories of doing like Spin City, Just Shoot Me, Sex in the City, Desperate Housewives, Supergirl, Agents of Shield, just Bones. I had a great run on Bones, and I just every time I got a job, I was like, really? They are really? It's me? It's gonna be me? So yeah, just blessed and lucky and a lot of luck. Before I started auditioning for shows, I was auditioning for commercials. And I got this audition for a Coors Light commercial, and it was the conceit of the commercial was we were giants in the Rocky Mountains playing football. Excuse me, I just burped. And so it was like the song is Tap the Rockies, Coors Light. And we're like playing football and we're jumping over the mountains and all this stuff. And so it was like the audition was, yeah, they need football players. So I was like, oh, okay. I played football. And I showed up and like all the guys were like, you know, very serious doing, and I was like flipping the ball back. I just was like being my goofy self, I guess. And they hired me. And so then I got an audition for The Young and the Restless. And my agent was like, he was like, well, you got to dance. And I'm like, dude, no, 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 you do not want to see me dance. And he's like, just go, go. And I was like, all right. So I show up and the guys are all like, like warming up and doing their dance moves and practicing and when it got to me, I just did the Spicoli, from Fast Times. And they hired me. So
Nice.
that was the first time I ever spoke on television, on national television, was on The Young and the Restless. And so I guess I just kind of learned, like, for better or worse, because it didn't always work that way, but I just learned to just be myself, and just try and have fun. And again, sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't, but I think for the most part, that attitude for me kind of won the day.
If you ever get a hold of Sean Penn, you could tell him, sir, you essentially helped me start my career.
That's right. That's right. Well, so quick little story. So I wrestled in college for 3 years, and then afterwards, I was like, I started hanging out with like some of the people from the theater, the theater arts, and I auditioned for like a student film, and it was funny. The guy who the director was a buddy of mine. He had written it and was directing it. Excuse me. And he's like, so come in for an audition. And I was like, oh, okay. I don't, and he was like, bring a monologue. And I was like, all right. Ooh, sorry, another mosquito went by. I'm tracking him with my predator or my anyway. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Lizard
Um,
brain. I get it.
totally. And so I was like, oh, what's a monologue? I don't know. So I did the scene from Jaws where Captain Quint, does his fingers down the chalkboard and y'all know me, know how I earn a living. I mean, completely inappropriate for like like I was 18 or 19 or whatever, and I was auditioning for this old man. So I didn't get it.
Did you end up getting a theater role later from that guy?
No,
No, no.
but that was kind of really that was the first time that I ever like was like, oh, try acting. I don't know. And I moved to Los Angeles to sell corporate insurance for my uncle. And he fired me after 6 months because I was drinking, doing a lot of drugs, partying and and
Ironically, you weren't insurable.
correct. And so then I moved from like West Los Angeles into Hollywood, and I started working as a PA. I got a job as a PA and had no idea what, all I know is I had a walkie-talkie and I was like, yeah, chicks dig a guy with walkie-talkie. And then I was working on it was like a Pringles commercial. Um, and there was a guy on a skateboard and they were like, hey, Eddie, you need to pull this guy. So I had to pull him through frame on the skateboard. He was on the skateboard and I had a rope tied to the trucks, the front trucks of the skateboard. And like I pulled it across and the guy was like, dude, what? Why are you doing this, man? Like, you should be doing what I'm doing. He drove away in his Jeep filled with girl blondes, and I got into my jalopy with no hubcaps, and I was like, yeah. And then a friend of mine, she was like, I'm gonna take an acting class. Do you want to take an acting class with me? And so I started taking an acting class and I got sober. I got clean and sober. So I really had nothing else to do. And because all my friends kind of, went away because I wasn't drinking and using anymore. And
It happens, unfortunately.
yeah. And but actually, it was the best thing that could ever happen to me. I mean, not just because I'm still alive. But yeah, I got into acting class. And I was in acting class with Charlize Theron. She was a model at that time. She was just going to become, try acting. So we were in class together, and I was in this class with all these. I mean, she was amazing then. You just knew watching her scenes. You just went, "Whoa, man, this chick's not afraid to like really show you who she is." And I just so for the next year and a half, all I did was go to acting class. I pretty much went to acting class every night. So if my class was on a Friday, you could audit all the other classes, right? You couldn't participate, but you could audit.
Yeah.
So, I would just go and watch these amazing performances by all these great actors that I was in class with. And one of them went to their manager and said, "Hey, you should meet with this kid. He shows up every day, every week, and he does good work." And so, I met with the manager, my buddy's manager. I met with him, and he was like, "You're kind of old," because I didn't really start till I was 27. I mean, I had no credits. I had a resume that I had written up. That it was all made up theater stuff that they couldn't, you don't want to make up any TV stuff because they could,
They can
but
cross check that. Yeah.
right. So I made up all this theater work that I had done. And, my manager was like, is any of this real? You're the guy. I was like, no. He's like, okay. He was like, look, I normally I wouldn't, represent
Condone
someone
this.
or represent someone that has no credits, virtually no credits. He goes, but I have a feeling about you, so let's give it a try. And then the first audition he sent me out on, I went to network. It was going to be it was a spin-off of Married with Children, and it was called Enemies. So it was going to be the anti-Friends, like it was basically it kind of had the same sense of humor that Married with Children did, kind of the raunchy sense of humor. So it was going to be the anti-Friends show. It was called Enemies. And I didn't get it, but I went all the way to the network for my first audition. I remember in the audition, like we'd be going through it and casting would laugh, and I would stop and go, "Really? Yeah, is that good? Is that?" And they were like, "Eddie, don't do that. Don't stop. Like, don't. You can't do that." Like I was that green. I just didn't know what I was doing, really, So, but he's still my manager all these years later. 30 some years later. So.
You recently directed Miracle at Manchester. After spending so many years in front of the camera, what did directing teach you about acting that you didn't previously know? And how was the experience of being on the other side?
Hmm. Well, by the time I directed Miracle at Manchester, I had taught a few acting classes, and I really enjoy being able to like see someone's performance, and then instead of going act better or be louder, to give them an idea so that they can make up for themselves. They can create without me like giving them a line reading or something, and then giving them a note and having them go, "Oh wow, I hadn't thought of that," and then having them afterwards go, "Man, that really like worked. That really worked." I enjoyed doing that. And so directing my first film, I was nervous, because I'm me, and it was a big responsibility, and my dad had just passed away, and the film is about a father's love for his son, and his son comes down with like terminal brain cancer, and so it's their journey, and like my dad had literally just passed away, and he's my best friend, and so there was a lot of I also acted in the film, so there was a lot of scenes with my kid where, it was just like, and that's the organic nature of acting is, if you use things from your own life and you put that into the character so that when you are acting, it's less about acting and it's more just about just being.
Yeah.
And so that was and I really liked the way that film turned out. I was really happy with it, and people seemed to like it, and so yeah, yeah, it was pretty cool. Oh, I just remembered the Sean Penn thing,
All right.
the tangent I went on. So you were like Sean Penn. Yeah, I could go to Sean Penn and say, "Hey, you influenced me to become an actor." So I was I was wrestling at Wright State down in Dayton. I quit wrestling, made friends with the theater department, did my Quint audition, didn't get that. And then some buddies of mine came back from the movies and they were like, "Man, we just saw this movie. You would love this movie." They were like, "McClintock would love this movie." And it was Evil Dead 2. So I went to see Evil Dead 2, and I was just like blown away by Bruce Campbell's physical comedy, like the whole thing with the hand, with his hand and he smashes the plate and then pulls himself. And I was just like, I remember just going, how does he know to do that? Like, so he was, Bruce Campbell has always, since that day, I've just loved Bruce Campbell. And I was at a convention in Dallas and I had just met, I don't know if you know who Tara Strong is. She
Oh,
does a lot of voice stuff, and Dina Meyer from Starship Troopers. I had met them there and we became friends. And Dina was like, "Hey, we're going to dinner later with a friend of mine. Do you want to come?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll go." So we're out in the parking lot waiting, and this giant black SUV pulls up right now. This is how I remember it. The doors open up and this fog comes out, and it's backlit by like purple and green, and this hand comes out of the fog and helps Dina into the SUV, and I look in and it's freaking Bruce Campbell. So like I get in and I'm sitting in the SUV going to dinner with Bruce Campbell, and he took us all to Ruth Chris Steakhouse and bought us all dinner. And I sat next to him for the entire dinner and we talked Evil Dead, Evil Dead 2. And the new Evil Dead was just getting ready to come out. It was the Evil Dead where they take the girl to the cabins because she's having drug problems.
Yeah, the
So
2013 remake.
yeah, it was almost getting ready to come out. So we talked about that, and we did a dueling Elvis's picture. We're both like nailed it. I mean, the mosquitoes here are just insane. It's ridiculous. Sorry, I apologize, Joe.
No, it's
Uh,
fine, but if it happens anymore, we're gonna do a super cut of just you doing the mosquitoes.
right, nailed it. Um, so yeah, I mean, that was just like so cool. And I don't know if I'm sure that I told him, I was like, you're a big reason why I became an actor, is like watching you and Evil Dead, Evil Dead 2, like I love those films. So I actually think they've gotten a little too serious. But the
Yeah,
the
well,
reason the reason that they're serious is because they don't have Bruce Campbell, which is kind of like Warehouse 13. It's like if they had hired someone else, that it wouldn't have been as, you know, silly.
with all this discussion on a horror film, I'd love to know, like, what would you do if you had the budget to do whatever you wanted? What horror movie would you make?
Oh man, I would revisit John Carpenter's The Thing. The original for me, it's just top five, top five. That's one of my films that I can just watch over, and like my wife will come in and be like, why are you
Watching this
watching?"
again.
You know, I do that. I watch, there's a channel called Universal Monsters on LG TV, and it has all the old, like today was The Mummy's Tomb, The Mummy's Hand before I got on with you, all made in the 40s and stuff like that. And I love those old horror films stuff.
I
So
do too, but you know what the weird thing is? Every one of those series, The Mummy, Dracula, Frankenstein, Wolfman, all of them ended with Albert and Costello crossovers. All of them. It ended in the 50s with those. Like
I
Albert and
can't,
Costello
I
meet the
can't, I
Invisible
can't
Man.
believe you just mentioned Abbott and Costello, because Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein
Yeah.
is my, macaroni and cheese for the soul. Like if I can't sleep, I'll just put on, and I'll go through all the dialogue as I'm laying there with him. It's one of my all-time favorites because I loved the Universal horror characters when I was growing up, and then all of a sudden, the comedy mixed with, the horror of Dracula and Frankenstein and Lon Chaney Jr. and yeah, just it was the perfect blend of everything that I cared about when I was a kid. So
Well, man, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you talking to us and coming on the show. Eddie, thank you so much for not only being on the show, but also being a huge part of my childhood. I really appreciate it, man.
thanks, Joe. And I had a good time talking to you.
Definitely. And from all of us here at Earthling Entertainment, see ya. And there you have it, man. Awesome interview, awesome guy. Little bit of a lengthy one, and we actually have a lot to cover on Earth Pop. So we're just gonna kind of jump right in.
Sounds
So
good.
yeah, here we go. Let's do it. The Earth Pop Report, talking about everything to do with Earth pop culture.
Woo! Here we go.
And we done did it.
Number one, Obsession. One of the year's biggest indie horror hits arrives on Peacock July 17th.
Oh man, so I want to make fun of the fact that their name is Peacock. But
It is funny.
it's an old joke. So instead of that, Ryan has been dying to talk about Obsession. So I'm just going to let you go off. But cool. If you guys want to see Obsession, you haven't seen it yet, you could see it on Peacock. What is it, 17th?
That's right. It's going to be on July 17th. So that's coming right around the corner here on Peacock. And guys, I usually, and I'm being real, I usually absolutely hate when movies get a lot of hype, and I usually avoid them. I don't know why. That's just how I am. Like Napoleon Dynamite, didn't see it for years and years and years after it came out. I don't know why.
You have an aversion to popularity for some reason.
I just usually when something gets that much hype and then I go and see it,
It-
I swear it's never good.
It's never as
Usually.
good as you want, or it's just never good.
It's just usually it's not good. Usually it's like something that they spent so much money on promoting and getting everybody hyped about it that they've spent more money and attention to that than actually making something good. And that's just honestly how I feel.
Sure.
But Obsession, happily disappointed with that because I can't even, dude, 10 out of 10.
Really?
Like I literally mean that. I can't, I find no flaw in this movie.
Still though, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 for its genre. It's
For
open.
hold on, for its genre.
I mean, yeah, for horror as an all-time movie. I mean,
Well,
yeah,
that's fine. I just want context.
yeah, 10
man.
out of 10, man. Yeah, the acting was incredible. The score was incredible. It was perfect. The directing was everything was perfect.
I can't take you seriously when you're saying it was perfect at 10 out of 10. But that
It was
being said,
perfect.
it is a really, really high, maybe a perfect recommendation from Ryan Lang.
That's right.
So if you haven't seen Obsession yet and you were waiting for just another little push in that direction, there you go. But yeah, unless you got any final thoughts, let's move on to number 2.
Let's move on. Number 2. Paramount is developing a new A Nightmare on Elm Street film with Wes Craven's estate producing.
This doesn't surprise me at all. There's been a lot of talk about like, whoa, Jim Carrey should do it. Oh, we should do an animated one. It seems like there's been whispers of this happening for a while.
Do not have Jim Carrey be, please.
I'm not saying he should.
I don't want
I am
to.
simply saying that was one of the stories that were out there.
I mean, I can see it, but I don't want to.
I don't really care who plays. Honestly, you know what they should do is do Robert Englund, where he just does every one of the lines and facial expressions, and then just get an actual actor like they do with the Mandalorian, and just put his face on the body. It might look hokey, but they haven't done that in a while. I think that might work.
That's a plausible thing to do.
Where it
I
actually
think.
is Robert Englund. He does the makeup. He does all the like, I am Freddy, but then he's an old man, so he doesn't have to like run around and try to pick people up. And stuff.
Or are they just gonna grab? Forgive me, I forget his name. He played it. He played Nosferatu.
No, we're not gonna get the Skarsgård.
Skarsgård.
We're not getting
Dude,
Skarsgård.
I'm just saying.
He doesn't even look like Freddy. I'm sorry, but
with enough makeup.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think it would be too easy to blend into your other characters. But anyways, guys, if you're excited about a new Friday the 13th, I said Friday the 13th, a new Nightmare on Elm Street. Well,
it's coming.
Apparently, it's coming.
Brings us to number 3. VHS SCP heads to theaters in 2027, becoming the franchise's first theatrical release in over a decade.
Yeah, this one apparently is going to be about like quarantine and like outbreaks.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so
A little bit of a throwback there.
Well, they've never really covered it before, unless you're thinking of the movie Outbreak, which was kind of awesome, but it was also just a different take on zombie film. I don't know. How do you not just make each one of your shorts a zombie film or body horror? Right? Like you're gonna get the Cabin in the Woods one. You're gonna get a few people who are just like rotting away in a really horrible way, and then you're gonna get a few where it's like, oh, it's an infectious disease where these people become violent or scary. I mean, what else? Is it just those two in your mind? Like, can you think of another quarantine or like one? I don't know. Maybe stuck in the building and the government
I
shoots
guess
you.
just like the what was it with John Goodman where he had them locked like in like a cellar saying that there was aliens. It was what was it, Cloverfield? Like that was kind of right because they were like stuck inside,
All right. So there's probably other things you can do. But hey, I'm into it. I like
I'm
the
into it.
last couple VHS.
No, I admit
Yes.
I believe so. Yeah, it was the sequel.
Yeah.
And yeah, because the first one was found footage running from the giant aliens and stuff.
And then there's Cloverfield Lane. And then
What-
there's the Cloverfield Paradox, which was
I don't think I saw that one.
it was good. It was on Netflix. It apparently was like a sci-fi movie that was not Cloverfield at all, and they just kind of made it a Cloverfield movie.
Why not?
Apparently, that's what they did with Cloverfield Lane as well. So I don't know. I liked them all, so I'm not really going to complain.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So that brings us to number 4. The Avatar Aang, The Last Airbender animated movie has moved up its release date to July 25th. Coming out this month. Are you excited?
I am
Joe's
excited.
excited.
I am excited. I like the
You love Avatar.
I do, and this movie was supposed to get a theatrical release. I'm kind of annoyed that they didn't do a theatrical release. I was really looking forward to seeing this in theaters.
Yeah.
And then because it didn't do a theatrical release, apparently someone dumped it online. So anyone who really wanted to see it has probably already pirated it and seen it.
Oh.
So we'll see. I'm excited to see it. I really wanted to. I like the show. I like the sequel series. I'm a fan. I have the novels. They're like somewhere behind you. So hey, yeah, I'm excited. I will definitely watch it this month. I don't have Paramount Plus anymore. I don't remember why we canceled them, but it was some reason we canceled them and we're not happy with them.
Huh.
I'm gonna get the free trial with a different email, watch that movie, and cancel it again. That's right.
Nice.
That's what I'm doing.
That's what you do.
Yes, it'll be like Sir Bob 2000 at Gmail. I don't know.
There you go, Sir
Yeah.
Bob.
So, guys, if you no, I'm kidding.
So, bringing us to number 5. Obsidian Entertainment will reportedly develop the next Fallout game following Xbox's restructuring. Now, I'm so glad you put this on here
I knew it.
because we all were blaming what was it, Ubisoft?
Bethesda?
Oh, Bethesda. Thank you. We were all blaming Bethesda, and it's like, yeah, but I feel like their hands were tied because they knew this was going to happen, like some kind of merger.
You can't start a thought without explaining what you're talking about.
It's just
What were-
it's
what
just
were-
what I've heard about.
What were we blaming them for?
They like cuz for not having a new game, and all they're doing like a Skyrim where they're just re-releasing it and re-releasing it, new downloadable content for Fallout 4. And it's just like instead of making a new game. So we were all blaming them for not making the game, but it feels like this is why. The ultimate plan was to go to Obsidian. And that's why I was glad that you talked about it.
Well, Obsidian made perhaps the most popular Fallout Fallout game. They made New Vegas.
That's right.
So this is, guys, if you're a fan of Fallout New Vegas, I mean,
Which I am.
well, they're making the next game, so that can only mean good things.
No,
And
yeah.
there's a rumor, and I believe it is true. It takes place in the mountains of Colorado. It was hinted at the end of Fallout Season 2, and a lot of people said, "Oh, they're setting it up for the next game." I don't know if that's true. Makes sense to me.
I heard that there's going to be New Vegas 2. Like they're actually going to continue the story of they're not going to remake New Vegas. They're going to make a new game. All new mission just like New Vegas but new.
That would be cool.
That's
but
what I
would you
heard.
make it New Vegas 2, or would you
I
make
like-
it Fallout 5 New Vegas?
I like the idea because Fallout New Vegas 2 because it was Fallout 3, then it was Fallout New Vegas.
I don't know. I didn't like
Because
it.
New Vegas wasn't because then it
I
was
know
Fallout
it was a side
4.
story. I know what you're saying. man,
Yeah.
but the thing is, like, you're splitting up your franchise. And Call of Duty did it. There's Call of Duty Modern Warfare and Call of Duty Black Ops. And they're
Yeah.
separate numbers. So I do get it. Maybe you're right.
I love that idea. Honestly, like when I heard that, I got very excited because I'm like, I guess I'll play it again. It'll be cool, like with it all new and stuff. But I'm like, man, I would love a new story in that realm. And if they're gonna do that, like I said, rumors only, guys. Don't quote me on this.
I never got to play New Vegas because I didn't really get into it until the systems had moved on, and
Uh-huh.
I don't play on PC. So I'm a little disappointed if they don't actually remake it, because in my head I'm like, oh cool, I'll find like Silent Hill 2. I never played originally. I only played the remake. So it was for me. It was like, oh, and now you're like, oh, sequel. I'm like, oh, sequel.
I'm terrible. I played New Vegas not that long ago, a few times all the way through. Doesn't matter how it's such a classic, one of my favorites. So thank you for having that one on there. Obsidian Entertainment will develop the next Fallout game.
Huzzah!
That brings us to number 6. Warner Brothers is rebooting Free Willy with the Russo brothers attached as producers.
That's right. The people who brought you Avengers are now bringing you Free Willy.
Hold me like a river, Jordan.
You know, that is a Michael Jackson song. It would probably get us demonetized really quick. You probably should not even like jokingly sing anything Michael Jackson.
That's all I think of when I
Did
think
you
of Free
watch?
Willy.
How many Free Willy movies do you think there were, Ryan?
No. 4.
You're right.
Yes.
Yes. So it was Free Willy 1, 2, and 3, and I can't say they all went in theaters. I don't know that as a fact, but it was the same kid. But then years later, we had a fourth one that was kind of not connected. It was its own Free Willy story, and it started Bindi Irwin.
Awesome. I
Bindi Irwin.
love Mindy Irwin.
Yeah, something about like escape
Love
from
the Irwins.
Pirate Bay or something cove or whatever. I don't know, but hey, man,
Yarg.
why not do another Free Willy? Except like it didn't it take place where it was like a sea show and it was kind of they were
Yeah.
so how do
I
you
haven't seen it in so long.
but how are they going to do that now? Are we going to Free Willy from like a natural disaster? Because it feels like most people aren't putting him in small tanks. I mean, after
Nah, you'd
Blackfish
be
and all that
surprised.
other
No,
stuff.
no, no. It had no effect at
Is
all.
SeaWorld
It is
still?
still a thing, and
They
it's
don't have
thriving. And yeah,
orcas.
oh, yep,
Really?
yep, yep. Nope, didn't affect the dang thing.
Huh.
Doesn't it suck? Sorry,
I
I'm
mean,
very passionate about
kind
that. Do not put orcas in tanks. God. Anyways, so that brings us to number 7. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Organic Intelligence hits theaters this August with a full reveal planned at San Diego Comic-Con.
all right, so this is
I
gonna
had to do that voice because I saw that this was coming. I'm like, wait a minute, what?
yeah. All right, so guys, this is a direct sequel to the Attack of the Killer Tomatoes franchise. And Ryan, I'm gonna tell you something that's gonna blow your mind.
Blow my mind.
I don't know how many sequels there were. Because I read somewhere that this movie was the 5th, and I cannot find anything past 2. I could find Attack of the Killer Tomatoes and Return of the Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, and I could find the cartoon series, which is Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. But if there was a 3 and 4, whether they were a TV movie or something else, I cannot find them. But it also could just be a joke because what is it? 24 Jump Street is going to be the sequel to 22 Jump Street, and it took so long to make it, they're skipping 23 Jump Street. So I don't. And then Scream 5 was just called Scream. So Halloween 2 was just called Halloween. They're just
I don't know. I agree with your frustration because
yeah.
it definitely, I suck already at remembering these freaking sequels or if they exist at all.
Yeah.
So at least give it a name that's memorable. Memorable.
That's all we're saying.
Right. So, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, Organic Intelligence hits theaters this August. Look forward to that.
Yeah, if you like ridiculous horror movies, it's going to be silly and practical and
Think Critters. Think
the
yeah,
trauma films. Yeah, it's going to be
yeah.
so good. I mean, you could probably find the old ones for free or cheap. It's so silly. Just
It
it
it'll be,
started out as a joke. If
it's
you
campy.
actually, yeah,
It's like the definition of campy. It's just so silly. It's so over the top.
yeah.
Organic intelligence is amazing.
Yeah,
It's
organic.
Organic Intelligence.
Great.
Because
It is.
AI and artificial.
yeah,
That's right. Yeah, that's funny. Like, I feel silly because I didn't really make that connection that hard.
I don't know, man. Maybe there's some weird thing because you know how like the Air Bud series stopped being Air Bud. It was like Air Bud Golden Receiver, Air Bud 7 innings fetch. They had all their subtitles. Eventually, Air Bud had kids, and then it was Air Buddies, and then the buddies took over, and it was like Space Buddies and Ghost Buddies and Treasure Buddies. Well, if that franchise changed, maybe Attack the Killer Tomatoes did too, and then Fried Green Tomatoes was actually a weird third movie and not like a really deep drama.
Oh, I mean,
Took me around the block to get there, but
dude,
it was
yeah.
yeah, it was
There,
really,
there, and there it was.
yeah.
Ripe
I don't know if it was
for the
ripe.
reaping.
I don't know if it was worth it, but I did it.
The juice is worth a squeeze. That brings us to number 8. Zach Kreger from Barbarian and Resident Evil will produce.
And Weapons. I don't know why Weapons isn't mentioned.
Yeah, like literally his huge hit, Weapons, and also Whitest Kids You Know,
Yeah.
which is hilarious.
And I knew a lot of white kids.
That's right. You know a couple right here. So he will produce a feature film adaptation of the viral horror creation Siren Head.
Yeah.
My son is gonna lose his mind. I have to take him to this.
I don't think it'll be appropriate.
Dang.
I mean, you can still take him to it. There's bad parents every day.
Well,
Yeah. It's
man.
hard not to be one. Sometimes you're just like, oh,
Ah.
gotta feed him again. Jeez.
I kid you not. He's been talking about Siren
Siren
Head
Head?
for years.
I just saw an image. It looked like this giant, like telephone pole side, skinny
Yeah.
creature with like literally a siren for a head. Do you know anything about the mythology at all?
I believe it comes from like the whole universe of Skibbity Toilet. if I remember right.
Is that the weird head that pops out of the toilet?
Yeah.
You know that's getting a movie.
And it's got like Plunger Man, and it's got, I believe, Siren Heads in it. Like there's,
I
yeah,
don't know if we're talking about the same thing.
maybe not.
I don't know.
It's one of those creepy pasta things
Yeah.
that they shoot it to kids on kids' YouTube. It's crazy.
Hook them while they're young.
I mean, right? Everybody was complaining about Momo. Check out Siren Head.
I don't even know what the hell Momo is.
That's the thing.
Am I
Because everyone was
getting
that was
old?
like a big thing.
What's happening?
It was a whole thing of
Huh?
creepy videos and stuff that was being kind of leaked onto kids' YouTubes and stuff, and it's messed up.
I'm afraid. Move on.
But yeah.
Okay, so Siren Head. If you're a fan or if you're not, it looks like a creepy image of a giant monster. And Zach Kreger's done a lot of cool horror films. So yeah, should be good.
Yeah, should be good. Bringing us to number 9, Loki showrunner Michael Waldron, set to direct Nova Film for Marvel Studios. So
Yes.
sorry, I've never heard of Nova.
Yeah, Nova is. Do you remember in Guardians of the Galaxy how they had the Nova core?
Yes.
Okay, so I wasn't entirely sure of how it's connected, but Nova is a character connected to the Nova Corps. I'm not going to get into the comics history because I, quite frankly, don't know it off the top of my head.
Right,
But
I don't
it's
know.
a character in Marvel called Nova.
Okay, that's why. Yeah, that's why
But
I was like, okay, so Nova is the name of the film.
Yeah, and I love Loki, and the showrunner did a really good job with that series. So
Oh,
if
agreed.
they think they can hand a movie over to him, I'm happy with it.
No, that was a fantastic show. Like, yeah, guys, if you haven't seen Loki, see Loki.
Yeah, season 2. It's actually the most resolution you're going to get from the Kang saga because that was his last appearance, and they do technically close off that story, even though it seems like it was going to go other places.
And if you watch Deadpool and Wolverine and we're like, who are all these people at these desks? This will explain it.
That's true. It's kind of weird that watching the show Loki. I mean, I think because it was Deadpool and Wolverine, people just kind of were like, "Oh, okay, I accept this." But yeah, you had
but
to have seen Loki.
yeah, literally Loki presented that entire realm.
Huh.
And,
Well-
and the whole thesis of like different timelines and anchor characters and stuff.
Well, in any case, guys,
I know about
look
that.
forward to that
I caught that reference.
Nova movie.
Number 10, Good Mythical Morning heads to Netflix, bringing curated episodes to the streaming platform while new shows continue on YouTube. This is a dude that he's the one who's got like the spork tattooed on his arm, right?
No, not at all.
No, it's not him. Who's that?
That's
Oh, Good
So-
Mythical Morning are the two guys.
Yeah,
But-
Good Mythical Kitchen is a spin-off of Good Mythical Morning.
But wasn't Good Mythical Kitchen for the longest time only on Good Mythical Morning as like a side thing, wasn't it?
So there's Good Mythical Morning is the main show.
Yeah.
and then Good
You
Mythical
better talk
Kitchen is
louder
the
if we're gonna have.
No,
this
she's
on
doing
here.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a spin-off channel that came
Okay. My bad, guys. Yeah, so Good Mythical Morning is the dude with the short hair and
It's
the dude
Rhett
with
and
the long
Link.
hair. Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. And I
Well,
only
anyways, they have a new show every day, and they've been on for thousands of episodes, and a million people have been on their guests. This makes sense.
I live under a rock.
Dude, well, no, this worked. This worked for Miss Rachel, so it makes sense business-wise that it would work for them, and it also makes sense that they're gonna have curated episodes, which I assume, much like Miss Rachel, is gonna be an amalgamation of their own already existing videos, and then their new episodes every week because that's where they make their money on YouTube. So yeah, totally get it.
No, yeah, I literally only just learned of them.
I just think it's funny because literally there's a book next to you, like it might be in shot. That is the Good Mythical Cookbook.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and if you look over there, there is the statues of Rhett and Link that we got because Lizzie joined their fan club or their Patreon. Yeah, it's
Okay.
everywhere. You
So
should be ashamed.
I should.
Yeah.
So let me make up for it with a bonus entertainment news that I heard today.
Ooh.
So this is just what I have learned literally just from looking up what new movies are expected, and I haven't heard anything about this. How do you feel about a new Christmas Carol, like with Ebenezer Scrooge and
Yeah, isn't it
the
Johnny Depp?
Johnny Depp,
Yeah.
and literally a whole slew of amazing cast that was on it? Look it up, guys. It's coming up, and no one's talking about it, and they're doing a good job keeping it under wraps because I just found out about this today, and I was like, oh, I'm just going to mention it on the show.
Hey, that's fine. There's a lot of secret Christmas movies coming out. Have you heard of The Man with the Bag?
I did.
Arnold Schwarzenegger as Santa.
I did. I was looking up just new movies coming out this year just out of curiosity. And yeah, I've been dude, this literally 2026 is one heck of a year for movies, bro.
It had to be a heck of a year for something.
Like, dude, right?
Yeah.
Movies are shining right now. But yeah, guys, so that brings us actually to the end of the entertainment section of the show. But we have to end, unfortunately, on this note with celebrity deaths.
Yeah, there was a lot of dead celebrities this week. Well, to be fair, this is probably from the past like 3 weeks because we're a little bit behind because of 4th
The
of July.
holiday, yeah.
Yeah. So
But
here are all the people that I heard died.
so obviously, we have to start with Sam Neill, died
Yeah.
at 78. Best known for playing Dr. Alan Grant in Jurassic Park, or more importantly, in Event Horizon and The Hunt for the Red October.
Also, he played Merlin in a Hallmark Channel original miniseries. It lasted 3 episodes, and it was so good. I know it sounds weird, but it was very. I loved it. It
I
impacted
could
me
see him.
so much when I was a kid. I loved that one. That is, if you have the chance to check it out, and it's campy effects. It was totally
I dig it.
Hallmark miniseries, but if you get a chance to watch it, check out the Merlin, and if you can, avoid the sequel, Merlin's Apprentice. That's it.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. All right. So moving along, his family said his death was sudden and unexpected. I was going to say, although he previously battled a rare blood cancer, he was cancer free at the time of his passing. And that was like a thing that, yeah, like I already knew that he was battling and it was a big deal. And the fact that they got him to be in Jurassic World Dominion was really cool. And I know that those movies.
He's got 2 roles that he finished principal photography on, so he has 2 movies that are still gonna come out that we'll see him in.
Yeah, yeah, posthumous. Or
I don't
whatever.
remember the names, or I
Yeah,
would have
yes,
mentioned
but
it.
I'm
Yeah.
just no, I was saying that's like the word for it. Like, so after his death, he will appear. But no, it
Postmortem?
yes, is that it?
Postmortem?
I think maybe.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, and I want to say this just because I've been saying it for a while since before he died, that like for some reason or another, the internet just decided that the Jurassic World trilogy was just not great, blah blah blah. They way over nitpicked it, in my opinion. And honestly, when you watch the whole thing again, like literally, actually take the time, sit, enjoy yourself, watch it. It's great. Like honestly, and especially like because they were like, oh, it was just a cash grab. The third one brought everybody back, and they did awesome. Everybody so, and I
To be
love
fair, Ryan, every movie's a crash grab. No one makes a movie because they don't wanna make money.
right, and the fact that they had Dotson be the main bad guy.
Yeah, but don't you think they should have brought back the original actor? I don't know if that guy's still alive or what he's doing, or maybe he's a bad actor. I don't know. I know nothing about him, but it's.
It was years later. I
I know,
accepted it.
but you get the guy. Just I wanted it. I don't know. That bugs me.
I accepted it. That bugs.
Uh,
His thing were giant.
That is another thing. That movie focused way too much on giant locust.
Yeah.
And don't misunderstand. I liked it. You know what's weird is the new one, Jurassic Park Rebirth. That one wasn't very good.
It was
I-
a fun ride.
there
I
were
remember,
things I
but I
liked
don't
in it.
remember it.
There are things I liked about it, but I do not like mutant. Like I don't like the fact that we're like, these aren't real dinosaurs. These are 4 dinosaurs put together, like the D Rex.
The whole point
It looked
of
like a Rancor. It was-
the whole point of Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, whatever, is supposed to be dinosaurs.
yeah.
Bring back there's so many. Bring back a different one.
Well, like like dinosaurs, here are more people who are dead.
Bonnie Taylor at the age of 75. The legendary Welsh singer behind Total Eclipse of the Heart and Holding Out for Holding Out for a Hero. I love that song. Died following complications from surgery. Don't judge me. Then that brings us to Randolph Mantooth at the age
Hold
of
on.
80.
Best name ever. If that's not a Bond villain.
Randolph Mantooth.
It's kind of funny because you're thinking like way back when, like, oh, he's blacksmith, so we're gonna call him Johnny Black. You know, what is this? He was just like, well, he still had his teeth, so Mantooth.
Mantooth.
Yeah.
Best known for portraying paramedic John Gage on Emergency. He died after a brief illness. Lauren Bennett, at the age of 36, singer with GRL and Paradiso Girls, and featured vocalist on LMFAO's party rock anthem. No cause of death has yet been released.
Badgers.
Badger. No, they wouldn't do that.
They're
They wouldn't
vicious.
do that.
They're vicious. Yeah,
Well,
honey badgers, bad. Tear your face off.
yeah,
It's
honey
a hand
badger.
like a frying pan.
Honey badger doesn't give an F.
Mm.
Christina Sands, 36. Star of A&E's Born This Way. She died after suffering sudden cardiac arrest at 36. Dang.
Yeah. So, to all those who have passed, we pour one out for you. And to Sam Neill, I hope you are in like this awesome Jurassic Park afterlife and not like a crazy Event Horizon afterlife.
I saw this
We'll
video.
miss you.
I saw this video and it was just like where she's like, he left us, and he's like, but that's not what I'm going to do. And it had like inspirational music behind it, and I was just like,
To be fair, he died.
yeah, so he did.
Yeah, he left you.
He left us.
Yeah.
He left us.
All right, aliens.
That's what we do here.
Yeah.
Aliens.
Yeah, there's not really any more of an intro, guys. In every episode, we have a little thing called spooky stuff, which you're aware of, and a little thing called disclosure discussion, and that is the core. That is what started this show.
That
was
is
me
true.
and Ryan talking about aliens and ghosts and myths and creatures and
The entertainment,
cryptids.
yeah, the entertainment stuff was kind of just banter at first.
It was just banter, but I went to film school and I work in the business and then when I can, and I ended up just kind of it became more and more part of the show. And
Remember,
I can't complain. I love it.
No, and remember, guys, please, if you're watching us on YouTube, leave us a comment. Comment about what kind of movies you want us to talk about. Something coming out that we haven't mentioned.
Yeah, we're still at the point where we can keep up, so we'll actually comment back.
That's right. Double guns.
And let's jump into some alien stuff. So here on this week's
Disclosure discussion. Ha 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 ha. It's about aliens and stuff.
guys, there's nothing more awkward than dancing to music you can't actually hear.
That's true.
Yeah, yeah. And it's not like we're great dancers to begin with. We're not like
Speak for yourself.
jazz hands. Well, no, I did do jazz hands.
That's
why
right.
that's why I'm losing.
That's right.
Oh, aliens.
I'm known to cut a rug. Anyways, so newly released UFO files reveal strange encounters and unusual objects. So, guys, I got this directly from war.gov. This is the fourth batch. It was released on on July 10th, 2026. The Department of War released its fourth batch of UFO files. The following file contains a video of a very bizarre UFO that was recorded in 2020. So this is straight from the file, guys.
All right. So you have to tell me for editing purposes when you want me to queue up these videos.
Go ahead and cue it while I'm talking here.
Ooh, all right, guys, check this out.
The United States Northern Command submitted a report of an unidentified anomalous phenomenon to the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, consisting of 32 seconds of video footage from an infrared sensor aboard a U.S. military platform in 2020. An accompanying range follower debrief, DOW UAP D091, describes.
Jeez, I could never be in the military simply because of like dyslexia.
That's right. It describes the phenomenon as darker, maroonish in color, approximately 12 to 15 feet in height. The report describes the phenomenon traveling with the wind and noted that it did not maneuver or change direction. It also describes the phenomenon as appearing similar to a large, somewhat deformed balloon. There is a lot to unpack with this video. This UFO looks truly different than any that we have covered before. It looks mechanical, but also so unworldly and almost interdimensional that it's hard to pin down. Then please, guys, leave a comment. Let us know what you think this is.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely strange. What do you think? I'm curious.
Dude, it's crazy, right? Because it's just so many angles are on it, and you can see it moving. Especially, I swear to God, like when you're watching the video right from the start, you can see almost something at the bottom is rotating, something is moving. So there is something going on there. It really focuses in its best near the end of the video. But I leave this to you guys. What do you think?
I don't know, but I really appreciate the fact that you're like deep diving into some of these old reports. It's enriched disclosure discussion, Ryan. It really has.
Awesome. No, I'm glad you like it. I hope you guys like it too. Let me know. Because I'm always looking for new stuff. So the next video comes from a file in 2019 recorded in the eastern United States. That's all it's stated.
All
The,
right.
the United States Navy submitted a report of an unidentified anomalous phenomenon to the All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, consisting of 20 seconds of video footage from an infrared sensor above civilian aircraft in 2019. Go ahead and roll that footage right now. An accompanying range follower debrief, DOW UAP D090, describes the phenomenon as exhibiting flight characteristics unlike anything the observer had seen in 28 years of service for the U.S. Air Force and U.S. Navy. The report characterizes the phenomenon as small and traveling in a straight line in the opposite direction at high speed. This video is quite similar to the famous Go Fast video that was released years back, accompanied by the testimony of retired naval pilot David Fravor. So that one was and that was just my take on it because it's like that's what we get out of this video is it's something that's just going
20
so
seconds.
fast.
Yeah.
It's so
And then it
fast
says,
and it's gone.
yeah.
But he had that sucker.
But that's how you described your UFO. Is the when you saw it, you
It was
said,
small and it was fast.
yeah.
Like
All
it,
right.
yeah.
So,
So
well, I don't know. I got nothing. It's a really interesting video. I'm really loving these new ones that they've just released.
no, I agree. I feel like it's good that they're finally getting down to the bottom of the barrel because I feel like maybe they're saving the best for last. I hope, if that's the truth.
They're like true believers will find it, but everyone else is gonna give up by now, so no one will care, right?
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
We're gonna bury the assassination tapes on the bottom floor.
As they do. So, some interesting images with low Earth orbit depict a triangular object that, in this humble reporter's opinion, resembles a Star Destroyer from Star Wars.
Oh, clearly,
It really does. Go ahead and
clearly.
show the image, at least one of them there. And during STS
It's a
80,
little Star Warsy.
between November 19th and December 7th, 1996, astronauts aboard Space Shuttle Columbia captured a series of 3 images. I didn't share the third one because I'm not going to be I'm going to be honest, I couldn't see anything in it. It was like a weird reflection in it. I couldn't really see anything.
Huh?
So the first 2 I really liked. Uh and so they captured 3 images of an unidentified object in low Earth orbit. And want to let you guys know that we will continue to cover these newly released documents as they come out. I'm really trying to put my nose to the grindstone on this because there's a lot to unpack. There's a lot going on there, and you can just go to war.gov if you'd like. You can download the videos there, the photos there. You can get PDF files there of you name it. Lots of redaction, but some interesting stuff.
Well, sometimes the redaction is kind of fun because you can Mad Lib it and just be like, add
Yeah.
a noun.
Right.
Add it, I
Yeah.
don't know. I think it's funny.
But no, and no, thank you guys for tuning in for this week's disclosure discussion. It's about aliens and stuff.
Yeah, which
We-
are always kind of weird.
That's right. And honestly, we're kind of weird. Just
Yeah.
saying, life is weird.
I assume everyone listening to this is at least on some level weird.
Just letting you know you're weird. But that's okay.
Well, this week's Real World Weird, we're doing more aerial stuff. I mean, it's kind of appropriate that it's right after disclosure discussion because we're staying in the skies on this week's
Real World Weird.
A routine flight lesson in Argentina turned into an unbelievable test of nerve when a flight inspector unexpectedly exited the aircraft mid-flight, leaving his 22-year-old student alone at the controls.
Yeah, that was a bit of a jerk move.
Moments before jumping from the Cessna, instructor Leandro Andres Bertazzo reportedly told the student, "You know what you have to do. Carry on." He then removed his headset, unbuckled his seatbelt, opened the door, and jumped.
It's funny because that seems like he really well thought out those last words. It feels like such a generic thing to just be like, you got this.
You know what you have to do.
Exactly. Be like, the answer is in you. It has been in you all along. Like, I guess if you're gonna jump out of a plane, you want to have cool last words. But why? Did he not know he was gonna jump out of the plane? Because I feel like if you're gonna jump out of a plane, you do that Oh, I don't know.
Just got that
When you're
call of the void.
well, when you're by yourself, like why are you gonna throw your endanger someone else?
Uh,
Selfish. I'm sorry, it's selfish.
I'll have to agree with that, but maybe like there was something in him that was like, she can no, she's like she can do it, but she needs that
She needs
last
that push.
final push.
Yeah.
And
It's
that's
the dare to be great
me.
situation. So what really this event was kind of the end of Whiplash.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know Whiplash.
It's essentially what you said, but with drums.
With drums.
Yeah, so a little less violent. People are only emotionally damaged, not physically.
The only Whiplash I know is a Metallica song.
Oh, not the same.
Oh. So anyways, colleagues said that they had seen no warning signs, though his family later revealed that he had recently been struggling with mental health issues and sought psychiatric treatment. Authorities continue to investigate the tragedy, but the student's remarkable emergency landing, she did it, is being hailed as an extraordinary display of courage and skill under unimaginable circumstances. And I believe it was a female pilot.
Yeah, it was like a 22-year-old. But
yeah.
Did you just give her the diploma? Do you just like, all right, well, I guess you passed.
It's just
like this was your final. Like you did it.
Dude, and it's funny, like the people that are able to talk people who really don't know what they're doing, and obviously she had a grasp on what she was doing, so she had the heads up on
Yeah,
that.
we'll assume it's not her first. Can you
Right.
imagine? It was her first lesson.
Right. He said
Like-
you know what you have to do. And so
it was just like
I hope she did. And
I don't.
I literally heard it was like a private plane, and like literally the pilot like had like a heart attack. This is a real thing that's happened years back, and I was just listening
Wait,
to
what are
the
you talking about?
This is another instance where the
Okay.
pilot had like had a heart attack or passed out, whatever, and just some elderly woman on this private plane, like because it was like basically just her.
All right,
came out,
Ethel, I got
and
this.
Literally, it was Ethel on the headset, and it's just this guy just being like, "Okay, so you see that lever on the bulb?" Like these
Yeah.
people know what they're doing so well. These people that get on the headset to help these people, they can. They're so trained that they
Good.
can. Yeah, like literally, that elderly woman landed the plane.
Good. Keenan Thompson landed the plane on Snakes on a Plane.
I never saw snakes on a plane.
Well,
I don't know how I missed
guys,
it.
spoilers for Snakes on a Plane.
All right. Well, Keenan Thompson
Keenan
saved us all.
Thompson's gonna land that plane.
Why? Sorry, I
No,
had
that's
to do the Keenan.
Cal.
Yeah. No, that was Keenan.
No.
Oh, yeah. Keenan. That's right. Why? That's right.
Moving on.
No, wait. No.
No.
He said why too.
Just
When Kel would mess up, he would say why too. But yes. So she made it, and the guy did not.
To be fair, I think he's right, everybody.
The guy did not make it. He
didn't
jumped
make
out of a plane. It was a really far way to drop.
Oh man, it's like that horrible story where they threw that girl off the bridge, man. It's like no one thought she made it, and then you find out she did. Yeah, things get dark.
We're moving on. Real
Don't
world
jump
weird.
out of stuff.
Don't do that.
Blades.
Bungee jumping without a bungee could be dangerous. When origami goes too far.
Dun dun dun.
Remember
Paper cuts.
those paper airplanes you folded back in school? A group of engineering students in Italy took that childhood pastime to a ridiculous new level by building the world's largest paper airplane. And it actually flew.
What?
Nicknamed Icarus.
Yeah, that makes way more sense.
Icarus.
I
Sorry.
like Icarus.
Icarus.
It's
Sorry,
like-
I read things stupid
yeah.
when I'm not prepared.
Well-
The massive aircraft was built entirely from paper and glue. It measures nearly 23 feet long, boasts a staggering 65.8 foot wingspan, and weighs almost 63 pounds. After months of engineering and construction, the oversized paper plane took to the air, soaring 193.5 feet to earn a new Guinness World Record for the largest flying airplane.
I mean, that's pretty fun.
Paper airplane.
Yeah, well, it was assumed.
It may have started as a simple sheet of paper, but Icarus proves that with enough creativity and a whole lot of glue, even a childhood toy can become a record-breaking aircraft.
Yeah. And that is weird, man. Do you can imagine like the people who make the biggest thing? Like I made the biggest pizza roll. I made the biggest airplane.
Dude,
Like last
the
week we
biggest
had
pizza puff. That was in Hey Arnold.
that wasn't Hey Arnold. They did it because Stinky could roll sleeping bags tighter than anyone else.
That's right. Everybody had a skill. But the whole thing is they didn't make it, but they did win for the most ambitious town. They had never heard of anybody so ambitious, so they won that award.
I'd like to think we're kind of ambitious on this show.
I would really like to think that. And in speaking of ambition,
Ooh.
may I add, because honestly, when you said airplane, I was like, oh, it's going to be this story. So forgive me, guys, I don't got the story in front of me, but did you hear about the engine explosion that happened on an aircraft very recently within this past week? The whole window next to this gentleman popped right off and he sucked his head out of the window. This just happened.
Is this
Like,
true?
This is true.
I'm not asking you. I'm asking the woman who has a computer.
It is true.
I don't believe
and
it.
he was fine. He suffered like I think he had like a strained neck literally and like what did they call it? Like burns from just friction burns. Literally that's all he suffered.
I just can't. Where did you read this? If you got this news from TikTok,
Oh no, I've got it. I read it in a couple different spots and I heard a couple people cover it. So I'm pretty sure it's legit.
I'm afraid to fly. And
Mhm.
it's already hard for me to go to some of these conventions. And now you're just going to be like, this dude's head was launched out a window.
He was okay, but yes, it was.
I don't have a window seat for that particular reason.
It
That
happened.
and
It
I'm
was-
closer. Okay, the producer is nodding. This happened.
This totally happened very recently. This just happened.
All
So
right. And so what airline was this?
I have no idea. I think it was I don't think it was an American airline. I think it was a different
It's Ryan.
Oh
Air.
no.
Ryan.
Air.
Dude, there's been a lot of Ryans. There was Ryans in that ghost story. There's your Ryan. This is Ryan Air. It's like,
oh my god, I didn't even think about
there's
that.
a weird Ryan connection happening.
Oh no.
Oh man.
I'm in
Well,
a simulation.
Guys, while you
You're not
ponder
real.
your mortality,
You are not real.
Oh,
Whoever you
no.
are. This is not real.
It is real. It
Nothing
is
is
real. I
real.
know it feels like a nightmare being the end of the show and stuff, but it is, I assure you, real. We have to say goodbye, bud.
No,
Yeah.
not ready.
Yeah, I know. It's tough. But you know what? Why don't you tell them their mission?
Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to share this podcast with a coworker, with a friend, with a loved one, with a fellow Earthling.
Or a lady.
Or-
Doesn't have to
yeah,
be a fellow.
I mean, yeah, anybody.
A
All
dog.
inclusive.
I mean,
All
I don't care.
Earthlings.
You can just put it on every screen in the house.
Yeah.
We don't care.
Multiple devices every day, downloading on iHeartRadio and you name it, everywhere.
You know what's funny is leaving really long comments, but actually only leaving the first letter of each comment and then spelling it all out over the course of
Yes.
several comments from
Mhm.
different profiles.
And yep, and it actually boosts your algorithm to more experience. It
Sure.
works. It works.
Sure. Anyways,
It
guys.
doesn't just benefit us.
Yeah, well, we hope you had fun, and we'll see you next week. And from everyone here at Earthling Entertainment, see ya.
And goodbye.